It's slightly distracting, to be honest.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of the campaign. I'm just a player, but my name is John, and I'll hand you over to our DM, Rich. How's it going, Rich?
Oh, man, it's going great. I am excited. We're going to play D&D, and that is a good thing. How's everybody else tonight? How are you guys?
Good.
We're doing
Great.
Man, that was not convincing. You're supposed to be role players. What's going on here?
It's a
Oh my
little
gosh,
tense,
things are so
man.
good.
Yeah, listen, you left us in a very tense situation, to be quite honest.
Scary.
People's lives are quite
Scary.
literally on the line. So I've been on pins and needles personally for the past, fortnight. So I'm ready to get into it.
I'm excited. Now we're into it. We're talking about fortnights. The tension is cranked up. We're afraid. This is what I like. This is good.
But before we dig in, just a couple things. Please, if you can, follow us on Twitter at TPK_games. And if you haven't already, please follow us on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/TPK_games. In addition, you can follow us all on Twitter, and these are our Twitter handles. So yes, please, we like to talk about D&D. If, we like fan art, we like all that sort of stuff. So
Where am I?
bug us as much as you want. But yeah, no, I just wanted to get the housekeeping out of the way before we got into episode 4 of the game.
John's worried I'm going to forget to introduce anybody. I got it.
No,
I got it.
I know you got
Ready? Alex Donsky.
Hey.
Ryeth.
Hey.
Thunderbuck. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm great, dude. I'm great. I played some Pathfinder yesterday, and every time I play it, it reminds me how much I love 5e. Just gotta throw it out there.
Big announcement today. Pathfinder 2 coming out based on 5e. Did you hear that?
What?
Yeah, there you go. That's why I'm the dungeon master.
Yep.
Alan Ward, how are you doing tonight? GreyThorne.
Alan. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just been hanging out, doing some streaming. That's all I do.
Oh yeah, what are you streaming? You still just streaming PUBG these days? What are we playing?
Yeah, but I just got my Switch set up, so I'm gonna start doing some Pokken Tournament, maybe some Mario Odyssey. Who knows?
Cool. That's what I'm talking about. See, I can't play that stuff, so I'll watch you play it. Good stuff. Mike Bloom, Tone Goodheart. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, but I want to hone in more on this fact that you can't play those games. Is it something against the genre? Is it something against the console? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, it's a console thing, right? I've long since abandoned consoles with the dawn of World of Warcraft many moons ago, and I have not looked back. So I could theoretically go purchase these consoles and these strange cartridges that you insert therein, but
Cartridges? What year are we in?
Yeah.
listen, I'm an old man. I don't know. I'm reading about Pathfinder 2. I have no clue what's on Nintendo. What do you call that thing anyway? What is it? Wii? A Switch? What?
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
Who's the old man now?
This is why we're in the Dungeons and Dragons category on Twitch and not in the other ones.
For real. Taryn Collins, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. There was someone at the beginning of this, if you watch back, I'm making weird faces. There was someone screaming outside of my house.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So, but the dogs didn't bark, so it's a victory. It's going well.
I'm impressed. Yeah. Good fuzzies, good dogs. And John Reed, far
Hey.
from the least of us. How are you, man?
Good. I'm excited. I got a pen and paper journal for
good.
the experience, so I don't crash the stream while I'm trying to take notes. And it's things are going. I'm really excited that we're going to be doing a fun play test next Monday to test out new monsters, and then going up to Reno for running up Reno. There's all sorts of fun stuff coming down the pipe. So I'm just excited.
That's going to be super cool. The play test will be exciting. That's on Monday.
Yeah, so it looks like Taryn's DM, Eugenio, from her other game, reached out to us and asked us if we wanted to take part in a playtest for some of the new monsters that are going to be, in Kobold Press. It's a Kobold Press thing. So, so we're going to be playtesting next Monday. We're not sure what time, I don't think yet, but stay tuned and we'll get all that information out to you. I'm just excited to play really high level characters and smash new monsters.
Oh yeah, it's a blessing, John. You started playing D&D like 8 months ago, right? And now we're gonna make 17th level characters. It's not bad. 17th level characters, man.
Gotta be
That's
crazy.
a fast learning curve. We're into it.
It's okay. I can hang.
Cool. I know. I have faith, man. I have full confidence. I'm ready. So, I guess unless you guys have any questions, or any other housekeeping that we should take care of.
No.
Where did I go? Am I alive?
It's a great question. And I suppose it's
doesn't
time
know.
to answer.
He doesn't know. Bye,
I know.
guys. See you later. I hope you don't have
I play to
issues.
find out what happens.
Yeah.
So yes, as we left off last time, you had come across a small lake in the woods, and you found there a giant who, using some magic and some just good old-fashioned trickery, you befriended and spent the evening with. But before you laid your heads down to rest, Thinnea Hallowwhisper was captured, kidnapped, perhaps, one might say. And you guys seemed pretty nonplussed by the entire dynamic and just went to bed for the night, decided that you could find her in the morning.
It was
She was
dark
probably
out.
out drinking. Hey, Tone was actually highly
Okay.
agitated. Tone was
I beg your
deeply
pardon.
concerned.
Tone Goodheart had a lot of understandable anxiety towards this situation.
This is true. I don't mean to paint with such a broad brush. What a terrible mistake. I apologize, Tone.
How am
But,
I out drinking if you took my goblet away from me?
Who took the goblet? I don't even remember that. Ooh, my
It was
continuity.
it was the
It
thing that was
left
laying
there
there.
when I found the spot where she got taken. That's how I knew it was a problem.
Of course.
Maybe I'm just drinking out of the cask. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm having a jolly time.
You get deep enough into the cask, the cup is really just a formality, right? So, Thinnea strangely disappeared. You guys slept for the night, and you were ambushed in the morning by strange, gangly undead with fins on their heads, and you guys fought valiantly, but your friend the giant Solg did not make it out of the fray. And so, with Sulg's body torn to pieces on the ground where these undead creatures were gnawing on him while he was still alive, you all stand in the early morning, like sunrise, as the sun rises up over the inner district of the city of Skaden and Chimerion's Gambit, and you mourn the loss of your new friend, and you wonder to yourselves, where is Thinnea Hallowwhisper? What did happen to her? And with that, Thinnea, I guess we will answer that question. So you were snatched from behind, dragged away from your friends with a rough hand over your mouth. You heard yes, friends, indeed. You could hear the stomping, booted footfalls of somebody pulling you along, though magic concealed them from your sight. And it wasn't more than a few instants, a few heartbeats that you were being pulled away from the clearing, that you felt the smallest stab in the back of your neck, not too far from where the mark of Chimerion was laid upon you before you were turned into the Gambit, but a small, stabbing, piercing pain in the back of your neck. And with that, though you struggle against your captor, sleep overcomes you. And so we find ourselves in the same morning while your friends lay around the body of the broken giant Sulg, and consciousness comes back to your mind, your eyes open, fluttering, heavy, dry. You could feel the pins and needles in them as you take in that early light that's just creeping out over the trees. You see you're next to another small pond, different from the one you left, though not so different. And thick pine trees surround the kind of clearing that you're in. And you can catch just out of your peripheral vision something laying on the other side of the water, and you turn and look, and it's the corpse of a man with crows alighting down on it, picking away at it. You could see the stained blood soaked into the dirt next to it. And as you lay there wondering, where is your captor? What are you doing? Where are you? What happened? You hear a rough voice, dwarven voice, a voice that you heard the day that you entered the Gambit, though not somebody that you spoke to personally. But the dwarven voice of Olus Broadblade speaks out from behind you, out of sight. Well, you worked through that poison right quick, faster than most do. I suppose I should give you credit for that much, at least.
Uh, I'm gonna touch the back of my neck to see if I just have like the little prick there, or can I like is there anything that would tell me if I still have the mark on me since I obviously can't see it?
You run your hand over your neck and you feel like the tiniest scab of like a small like needle point where you were like stabbed in the back of the neck. And you're a rogue of some repute. You know the use of poisons when they're turned against you, and you just presume that that's the most logical thing that would have happened, that he just stabbed you in the back of the neck with some fashion of sleep poison.
Okay. Do I still have my weapons on me?
No, your sword is no longer on your belt. Did you have any kind of like concealed knives or anything like that? But your sword and bow are gone from you.
I have 2 daggers.
Where do you keep them?
Definitely concealed, for sure.
Roll a stealth check. This is how we'll do that. Yeah, roll a stealth check. You're pretty good at your stealth. Yeah, you do still have your 2 daggers. I don't know, I suppose like one tied down near your boot and another one like up on your wrist or something like this.
My wrist you would see because the dress is so short.
Oh, right.
We'll put one in my bra. That's what everybody wants anyways. We'll put one in my bra.
Excellent. Excellent. And so, you feel the weight comfortably, reassuringly of these 2 blades concealed on your person, and concealed well, you recognize. But your bow and your sword are gone. Your small purse, your bag of holding also conspicuously missing. And as you turn your head away from this corpse across the lake, and the crows kind of like a light, like one of them flutters off with your movement, ever so slight though it is, you roll your head to the other side and you see sitting on a stump just behind you, with his back to the tree line, watching you with your gear piled on the ground next to him, is the dwarf Olus Broadblade. And he's sitting with his hands folded on his kind of paunchy belly, and his braided beard rolling down over it. And he's watching you with this kind of bemused smile, like, "You have no idea why you're here, do you, girl? No idea who I am."
I'll walk over to him and sit next to him or around him. And I'll say...
I should have said, but your hands are bound. Your feet, though, are not, right? And there's like a length of rope coming off of like the tying around your hands. It's pretty tight, but it's almost like this lead coming off of the knot for him to like grab and hold, right? You could see it of him like trying to walk with you along. But so you get up and he kind of watches you, like he doesn't make any quick motions, and you walk over towards him and like sit down on the grass in front of him.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And I will ask him if he wants to share a drink.
He chuckles and he says, "That's an old standard when you're working a dwarf." He says, "Though from what I hear of you, you like your wine, don't you, young one?" He says, "Where do you have a drink? In your bag here?" And he like gestures down, looking at your bag of holding on the ground next to him.
Can I roll insight to see if he thinks it's a small purse or if he knows what it is?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Roll an insight check. What'd you get? 21.
21.
He knows what it is.
Okay,
He's a
great.
Seasoned guy, right? He's a warrior, a fighter, a bard. He's a man of information and stories. He knows a bag of holding when he sees it.
Great. And then I'll say, "Yeah, I'll be happy to pour us some glasses," and then I'll hold out my hands to him.
He winks at you and says, "So generous of you, but I'll pour for the 2 of us. How about that then?" And he like takes up the bag and starts like reaching down like into it or whatever, and pulls out like the cask, like, "Oh." He says, "Well, that's something you don't see in every lady's purse." He says, "So back to the question. You don't know me, do you, girl? Never seen me before in your life until here, have you?"
No.
Should have known as much. Your dad, though, he knows me well.
Are you a friend of my family's?
Does your family have many friends, Lady Hallowwhisper?
Very few.
As I would imagine, he says, kind of like chuckling. And at this point, you could see like he's opened his own pack and taken out like 2 wooden cups that he puts down in the earth in front of him and kind of like sinks them into the dirt a little bit so they stand upright as he begins pouring the cask. And he's still talking. Like he says, "Oh, I know your family well, quite well." He says, "You see, I was born in the Emerald Dynasty." Raised a family, wife. We were going to have children, a lot of them. Or so we always dreamt. That was right up until I went into business with Lord Hallowwhisper, the blessed noble of Chimerion. He says, the details I'll spare you of, girls, for I'm sure you wouldn't care less of them, and it's a story you've seen played out across your life more times than you'd admit it. He says, but the end of the tale is one of woe and debt, one of exile. He says, he ruined my life, your family, ruined it. He says, and I have few illusions that I'll get out of this place alive, but if I can leave one good wound on that bastard and leave you here in the dirt when I get up and walk away, then I'll have done right by the memory of me wife. What do you say to that?
It's a good thing my father doesn't care for me much.
Ha! Your father doesn't care for much besides the coin and the smiles of your precious Emerald Dynast, does he?
Not much.
So what's in it for you? I know enough to know you came in here of your own accord. No one dragged you in chains.
We're going to have a glass of wine before I delve into all of my secrets.
And so he kind of like sits down the cask next to him and he lifts up the 2 cups and hands one over to you. Drink up.
Can I smell it for poison?
Sure. Sure you can. Roll an investigation check.
I'm just expecting this whole thing to go like every time I try to talk to him, he just poisons me.
Yeah.
I got a 20.
You feel pretty good about like having watched him go through the whole process of taking the barrel out and pouring it, and like as you sniff it, it smells exactly as it should. Delicious.
Wonderful. Oof. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm so stressed out.
What you do not smell is iocane powder.
No, I
Drink the wine. It'll be cool. You'll be fine.
No, trust me, I'm fine drinking the wine. I just want to make a toast, and I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna say to the beginnings of a friendship, and that's all I'll say, and I'll cheers it.
Short friendship, he mutters as he like tilts the cup back and his eye line breaks from yours for a moment. And he just like guzzles the whole cup and puts.
I'm gonna waterfall with him, so I'll drink as long as he drinks.
Oh damn! Yeah, I mean he finishes this little wooden cup. Yeah, and sets it down. You put yours back next to it, like gesture to refill, or what?
Absolutely.
He nods, lifting the cask up again. And he shrugs like, so your father doesn't love you, but that doesn't mean he doesn't value you. He says, you're his prize, the only girl, heir, apparent, are you not? So I ask again, though, why did you walk in this place, Thinnea, Hallowwhisper? Was it just to help the orc fetch his axe? Rain chaos on the world outside?
I don't think that orc will have the axe for very long.
He shrugs. He's like pouring away at these 2 cups.
Like, keep thinking of all these ways to get myself into trouble, and I need to leave them alone. I was gonna like cheers to his dead wife. Like, I just. Okay, so I'll say, don't most of us follow commands?
Oh, so you're just following orders then? He says, then I have to ask, why do you take them? What's in it for you? What more do you need than what you have already?
I may not care about my family, but I care about Chimerion.
Why?
That's a great question.
It is, right?
Doesn't know the answer to.
Wow, this is some good therapy. I'm loving this.
And he knows that I get nervous with improv. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine. Actually, I won't say anything. I'm gonna gesture to the glasses again until they're full.
Yeah, okay. So he like finishes pouring as you like gather your thoughts as to how you're gonna respond to this inquiry that he's making. Right? And he lifts up the cup again, like placing it in your hands as he takes his own back, and he's holding it like very deliberately, like watching you. You could see waiting, right? Waiting for the answer before he drinks.
And I'll say, it's your turn for a toast.
He says, to that bastard over there, whatever his foul name may have been. He like gestures at the dead body on the other side of the lake.
And I will add to his toast. And I'll say, to the two of us, having at least a few more days before we're like him.
Like, no, that's a little bit optimistic girl. It's like drinks. And he's like, so? Why do you do it? Because you've never known anything different? What do you hope to gain? What does Thinnea Hallowwhisper want?
I really like this dwarf. I'm just throwing it out there. I want to find him and befriend him and bring him into the
get
party.
some lessons on how to
That's
talk
great.
to
You should come searching for the dwarf then, since you won't come searching for Thinnea.
Maybe.
Well, we don't know the dwarfs out there. I mean,
You know.
You only like him because he's torturing me right now.
Edgar did make a plan to rendezvous with the dwarf on the second day. I'll just put that out there.
We all had
I don't
plans,
know
and
any
they
of
all went to shit.
So many plans.
Yep.
I need a diamond.
So he asks you. He's like getting a little aggressive, and he leans forward, and he's like, "What is it that you want? To rule the city? The goblins and the elves? To have them all beneath your boot? You want to sleep on a bigger pile of coins every night? More servants? More dresses? More wine? How much is enough?"
And I'm going to take a minute and act like I'm like really, really seriously considering his question.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll look up at him and I'll say, more wine sounds about right.
Ah. Well, at least she'll die drunk. Don't say I never gave you anything. And he like starts pouring the like cask again one last time. And he's like, you don't have enough answers. He says, you say the orc won't hold the axe for long. He says, you even know what that axe is? You gave that mad fool a weapon of legend. Perhaps the only tool in here that could break someone out if they knew where to go.
How do you know that he has the axe? Have you been following us?
Bah, I'm a bard. It's my job to know things.
You also don't have very many answers.
What are your questions? Yeah, I saw what happened. You think I'm damn fool enough to step into the middle of that mess?
So you saw that I killed him, correct?
Dead off the ground, too.
Fuck. I didn't want him to see that part.
I saw you ran like cowards. The lot of you.
Well, at least we fought him instead of staying in the forest.
Oh, yes, foolish, foolish me. How stupid that I might make choices what would keep me alive. He says, you and your entourage, just like home, isn't it? You have your guard man on the right hand, your servants beneath you. God only knows what you'll do to that poor, innocent bastard of a boy that's following you around like a puppy dog, too. He said...
Well, I dressed him nicely, at least. I'll say, some good it's had me having my entourage, and then I'll gesture around.
He says, that's right. Lesson learned. He says, it doesn't matter how thick you stack your coins or how high you build your walls. He says, one man with a goal can get where he needs to be to achieve it. He says, so I'll ask you one last time. Why are you here? Orders? For what? It's the turtles, isn't it? How much are they worth? Your life?
I think I'm going to get out of here just fine. But if you're not going to kill me, what do you want?
Well, I want answers before I cut your pretty head off. He says, but if you're in a rush, and he like pulls like this like short, like broad-bladed short sword off out of like a scabbard and lays it flat across his knees as he sits on this stump. And he says, I'm happy to talk and let you drink as much more as you want out of this here cask before I lay you down next to our friend over there. He says, and if you don't want to tell me your answers, then I suppose you won't. I'll find them on my own like I always have.
And I will, is there wine still in my goblet? Okay. So I'm going to shrug and say, it's unfortunate that you would rather kill me than work together. And then I'm going to drink a little bit of my wine and then cross my leg that has the dagger on it on top so that it's closer to my hands.
Okay. And so what's your passive perception? It's like insanely
It's
high,
crazy.
right? Yeah.
It's 20.
20. Okay, so you cross your leg and you take the sip, and as you're like sipping the wine, like your eyes can't help but cast themselves upward a little bit, and you see a shadow of a silhouette in the sky, and your eyes like flick the littlest bit backwards, and you could see it like growing larger, this enormous 30-foot reptilian wingspan beginning to like loom down over you, and you realize pretty quickly that it's like one of the wyverns, and it's clearly like moving in a direction towards you guys as though it's like caught sight of you. Is there anything you want to do in the moments of acknowledgement you have about this before chaos ensues?
Yeah, would I have disadvantage with dodge right now?
No, your feet are free. Yeah, your feet are free.
Who's got my hands? I am... I'm going to prepare to dodge out of the way for when it comes and hope that it goes for him.
Okay. And so you could see, like, you guys have been eating well. You stole all that food from your apartments before you left. This guy's, like, been in prison for who knows how long. Like, he's alone out here. He's not killing boars left and right and cooking them with giant bros. You know what I mean? Like, these couple of cups of wine, like, dwarf or no dwarf, like, they've gotten to him, like, just enough. You could see, like, the little flush in his cheeks and, like, the looser that his kind of grin hangs as he, like, watches you. And he just kind of shrugs, like, well, it is a shame, Thinnea Hallowwhisper. And he starts to, like, stand up with the short sword in his hand. And as he does, like, you hear the scream from the sky, the reptilian, like, screeching, just like, and he, like, whips his head up, like, curses by the red. And you see this enormous reptilian shadowed silhouette diving down at you. You could see the yellow glimmering of its eyes as it's closing in through the tops of like the treetops down at you guys. And with that, we will jump back to our friends.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So the camera kind kind of like fades out of like this moment of Thinnea about to like dive out of the way, and the dwarf like snapping around, like lifting up his sword, and then it kind of like fades back in to the group of you, the four of you, 2 turtles, a human, and an elf, alongside the exotic and unusual air cleric from the wilderness, the priestess of the winds, Sarah, right? And so there's these like sick kind of like soupy piles of bones and blood and flesh all around you, where you cut down all these undead creatures that kind of melted into puddles. And then the massive form of Sulg the giant sprawled out next to the pond, ripped to pieces, blood everywhere, his armor like covered in it, just as he lays face down in the mud. And so the 4 of you are standing there with the priestess, and it's like the moments after having like finished that fight. What's going on? What are we doing?
I'm gonna look around and be like, oh my god, that really, really hurt. Sarah, can you help me, please? That's really hurt.
How badly are you hurt?
I'm like half hurt.
Like
As opposed to a whole hurt.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of like smiles at you like, you fought admirably, sorcerer. Yes, of course. She says, may the winds bless both of us, that we get out of this place. And so she'll cast a Cure Light Wounds on you. Yeah, she like begins to pray, and like this kind of flowing, whispering. Okay.
I'm also gonna, while she's healing him, I'm gonna heal myself by casting a Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
You get 5 hit points back, Ryeth, as she finishes this prayer to the winds, and you feel like life flow back through you. And 12 for Poe.
I'm gonna use a healing potion too. I'm pretty badly hurt.
Wow, really?
So
you take the potion out of your belt, and she like stops you like, you are cautious, perhaps too cautious. Here, one more.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Sarah.
He's like, I'm still gonna drink a potion.
No, I'm good.
Look, now that we're no longer half hurt, let's get to the heart of the matter here, gentlemen and lady. Shall we? We have 2 options in front of us. Down one path is our friend and companion, still MIA. The other path we have is this drop box of goods, I suppose, that we found coming out of the sky. And from what I can tell, Sarah, is that fake arrow that we put up in the sky, has that held amidst all the fighting that we did, or do we have to do that again?
No, it held, but like it's been about like half an hour between the fight and you guys kind of like cleaning up in the immediate aftermath and gathering yourselves. And so like the wind is kind of like dispersing both of these symbols. They're both still kind of like lingering in the air, but not for much longer as you glance up at them.
Dudes, I think we need to find our friend. Thinnea's been gone all night, dudes. I mean, it was dark, but now we can go after her. I think we should track her down.
I agree.
I still think she's in the box. I don't understand what you guys aren't getting about that.
In what world do you think she's in a box?
What box, dude? How do you even know there is a box?
Well, they said there are things that we need, and we need Thinnea, so she's definitely in the I mean, it's obvious.
Why do you need her, says Sarah. She like pipes in as you're doing this. Like, why do you need her?
She's cool. And she's good with an arrow, and the more friends, the merrier. And we're a group, and we're going to protect each other, and that's what good people do.
I have an idea, guys. She might be in the box, but why don't I locate the diadem that's on her head, and that'll lead us to either her or the Dropbox.
Are you sure we'll be able to detect it? She could be very far. It's been hours.
Well, how
do you have
large?
Confidence?
It's 1,000 feet. Fuck.
It's pretty far.
What if we head in the direction of the box and then you use it in that direction? It's plausible.
Yeah.
Sarah says, I will make no bones here with you. And she looks at you in particular, Ton. She says, you have played your part and you have helped me a great deal in arriving. So I will stay with you and assist you. But I have no deep love for this woman. Surely her position in the dynasties leaves me suspect to her. I hope to find allies in this place, and I'm concerned about her connections and affiliations outside of the...
Yes, Edgar?
Do I still have the copper wire that I used to cast Sending right before we came into the games, or was that taken away from me?
No, you were able to gather like some simple components during that first day of the game. Okay. So yeah, you have like some copper wire.
I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to hold it up to Phobos, and I'm going to say, please, Phobos, send this message to my new friend Thinnea, and I'm going to cast Sending right now.
That's 25 words.
Yeah. And I'm going to send the message. We don't know where you are. Head toward the what's the symbol from the
it's an arrow, right?
It's just an arrow, but we rewrote the arrow, didn't we?
You made a replica. She made like a second one.
So there's two arrows?
Yes.
Yeah.
So which direction is the right one pointing? Is there like
the correct one is further east. The correct one is further east.
From us. Okay, it'll always be further east. Okay, so head toward the arrow in the east. Meet us at the drop. That's my sending.
Okay, so Thinnea, this message, you hear Poe's voice, like all of a sudden in your mind, in the instant, as you're like rolling out of the ground, and this like wyvern like hits the ground between the two of you, and you see the dwarf like staggering backwards, like, curse this emerald bastard! Ah! Like he's like screaming as the wyvern like snaps its tail down, and you can respond, like. You've rolled out of the way. The wyvern doesn't seem to be attacking you for a moment. Like, you can respond to Poe if you'd like.
Because I figured I'd tell her where to go, and if she needs us to come to her and she has a landmark, she can tell us that, and we can audible that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's word counting.
Super smart. Super smart.
She doesn't. She technically doesn't know where she is.
That's why I didn't just ask.
No,
so in this moment. In this moment, Poe, you cast the spell, and like you bend the copper wire into the ring, and you kind of like whisper the words out, and you look up, and you hear like in the distance, and you see the shadow drop down out of the sky, one of the wyverns, and you hear it like kind of scream out across the sky, like far and like muffled from the distance, but like. And you see the like small form of its diminished size in the distance dive down to the tree line.
We don't want to go that way.
That way seems like bullshit.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna look at Sarah while this is going on, and I'm gonna say, look, I can understand what might be going on outside of the Gambit, but for all intents and purposes, the Gambit is the great equalizer. We're all on the same plane here, so what matters out there is not going to matter in here.
She nods like, you're right, of course. You're right, and I have no reason to misjudge you based on your deeds so far, but I need to be sure that if I survive this place, that I don't put the people that I care about in jeopardy. And she looks at you, Ryeth, like and you do as well. She says, there's a great responsibility on our shoulders here, Storm Sorcerer. We must not drop the ball.
Okay.
Drop the ball.
We won't do that then.
She like shakes her head like, damn it, you know, like, damn it, just pure exasperation. And she like turns like walking over towards like the where the gear is, and she's starting to like get up some of her stuff, get her backpack on, all this kind of stuff.
Cool. I'm ready.
Okay, so You hear these words. You roll out of the way. The wyvern hits the ground between the two of you. You feel like the gusting of its wind. Water sprays up from the pond. It's like enormous wings are thrashing next to you, and you hear like it's like howling and screeching next to like the curses of the dwarf. And so you respond through the magic of Deimos and Phobos.
Little busy right now, period. Wyvern, period. Dwarf kidnapped me, period. Might be better for you to join, period. And like, period. Help fight, period. Tone especially, period. Best regards, comma, Thinnea. Heart symbol.
Okay. Dudes, Thinea's in trouble. Head toward the wyvern, and I just take off running toward the wyvern.
What?
Tone! And I wave Tone.
I'll bound behind him and follow.
I'm gonna look over to Shell and be like,
I mean,
Sarah, you want to head towards the wyvern? What? She could have just escaped. No, you want to go fight a wyvern? Oh man! All right, I'll go running out.
As you guys are running, Sarah is like grabs you by the shoulder, Ryeth, and pulls you to the back and kind of lets the rest of the group get out in front. And she just kind of whispers in your ear, like, she's like, "You're the only one of these people I'm invested in. If we can get the turtles out alive, that will probably be helpful. I know that you want to get them to the conclave, but these others are dangerous, child. You need to keep your eyes open."
Oh, thank you so much for the heads up. Yeah, I'm not really good at like picking things up like that, like at first. So, I'll keep an eye on them. I mean,
she
they're
like grabs
right
you and stops you for a moment as everybody's running. She like yanks you to a stop and turns you to like look in her eyes, like, "Do you know what I am? Do you not realize it yet?"
I haven't realized it yet. Valerian kind of sent me premature.
You curse boy. And she just like shoves you and takes off like running, like leaving you. Like, "Come on, hurry, you're a friend. You're a friend." And they take off. So you guys are like running madly through the woods. Thinnea, what are you trying to do? What's your objective? You like roll away from like this wyvern. Your hands are still tied. It seems to be like focusing on the dwarf. It's like turned itself around and you're like a solid 15 feet away from it now, standing at the edge of the pond with your hands tied while the dwarf is like squared off with it. You see like he's pulled a hammer off his belt and he's got his short sword in his other hand. What is it you'd like to do?
So I want to get into whatever forest or whatever I can get into, and then use my dagger to cut my hands loose.
Okay, so you like dash away from this fight to the tree line, and you like duck down behind the bushes, are able to like pull the dagger out of your belt and start like frantically like wrenching it against the friggin' rope. And after a few moments, like you cut through the rope. You like snap the rope, the blood flowing back into your hands with pins and needles as you like grab the dagger up. And you could see now they're still like tangling out on the other side of the clearing. They've moved a bit away from like the stump where all your gear and stuff is.
I'm going to just stay here and watch my gear. I have no intent on helping him.
Okay, you're going to stay and watch. You guys are running. Who's leading this like frantic run towards where the griffin was? You are, make a survival check.
So you're hiding from the fight that you're luring us towards?
I don't have any weapons except for 2 daggers.
That's 2 whole weapons.
I don't have any weapons except for my weapons.
You know what? I
do know what. He's a nice guy.
Go hang out with Sarah. He says,
we will, and we'll have a nice time.
There was 2 moments when she stopped me that I thought about casting invisibility on both of us. I'm just throwing it out there.
So Poe starts like pounding ahead out in front of you, and he's pointing, and he keeps like looking up at the sky and kind of like barreling in like the direction that he thinks like you guys are supposed to be going in. And you're all kind of like madly following, running after him. And so yeah, you're running for like minutes, for like about 2.5 to 3 minutes, like jumping over like rocks and rubble. There's all these kind of like destroyed little buildings and cottages and stuff. This used to be like part of the inner district of a city, and like the forest has kind of reclaimed a lot of these like smaller buildings that are scattered around here. So you're ducking through like these broken foundations, and you're jumping over fallen trees and leaping across like these tiny riverbeds. So Thinnea, you meanwhile are like just holed up at the edge of this clearing, and you could see like the wyvern like fighting back the dwarf for a minute, and like he then like he like parries away as the thing like goes down to bite him. He like knocks its face out of the way with the hammer that he's got in one of his hands, and is able to like get some distance between it and him. And you could see he's about like 8 or 10 feet away from the wyvern, like out of range of it. And he's just like, ah, and this glimmer appears, this green like glimmer of light out of right from like the corner of his mouth, from like the right side of his smile. And you, with like your crazy like insane observational skills, you have the observant feat, you're able to see like this flash of green light where like most others would have probably missed it. And as that like happens, like boom, he just turns and like jumps, and is able to jump this impossible distance of height, like leaping clean over the pond, hitting the ground on like the other side next to the dead corpse. And the crows have like long since flown off in the midst of like this melee that's happening, right? And he like turns, glancing, like looking for you in the clearing, like seeing that you're not there, cursing like, damn green drake. And then like from there like turns and runs, taking off like into the woods on the other side of the lake. The wyvern now is like wheeling around, looking. Make a stealth check.
Dwarf, who's the coward now?
For real.
24.
Loser. Oh wow.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, it's like whipping around and seemingly like unable to like locate you. It like you see it like leap like lightly and woof, woof, 2 like wing pumps, and clears like the pond on the other side, and then like it begins taking like bigger, stronger like strokes, and like lifts up over the tree line and begins flying off in the direction that the dwarf ran off in.
That's
okay.
not good. We're following that thing, so hopefully.
As soon as it's cleared from the area, I'm gonna run over and grab all my stuff.
Okay, so it like flies, and you see like its tail, its long tail with its nasty jagged barb on the end of it that you could literally see like dripping venom, the moisture of the venom on the tail at the end of the spike in the sunlight as it flies off. You come like dashing out from the bushes, like racing across the clearing to the stump, snatching up like your bow. You belt on your sword belt, you get your bow and quiver up over your shoulder, and running team, you guys are plowing through the woods. Edgar, you're in front. What's your passive perception?
21.
Yeah. As you're like barreling along, you hear a sound coming from off on the right, and you like turn and are like, wait, what is, and then you see it, and you realize like you've been running not entirely in the right direction. You got off course, and it's almost good that this happened. But what you see like is the dwarf maybe 150 feet away, barreling through the underbrush. You just see him for a moment as he cuts like between these 2 trees, and then like ducks off to the side, and he's cut out of your like line of sight again by the brush and the brambles and all the thick undergrowth of this forest. But you glance up from there, and you could see just over like the treetops the silhouette of the wyvern. And you could hear its wings literally bending down the branches at the tops of the trees, leaves falling beneath it as the air that it's like displacing pushes down on the treetops. And they're coming like right for you guys.
The wyvern and the dwarf?
Yeah, the dwarf is like running in like a direction that's going to like intercept the line you guys are running on, and the wyvern is like chasing it, like looking for a line to break down through the treetops and like smash down into it.
I'm gonna get away from their line that they're entering in. Like if I see them, yeah.
Any of you guys want to like do anything? What are we doing? So Ryeth, you duck out of the way. You're trying to hide?
Yeah,
Or
me
just,
and
like,
Sarah. are gonna duck out of the way. I'll grab her.
Grab her, and she like follows you, stepping back. So you're gonna try to hide, roll stealth or whatever.
I'm also going to try to hide.
Yeah, I'm not playing these shenanigans.
Shell and Tone.
Yeah, he's got a target. I think it's best.
Hey, that's not bad, bro.
Yeah.
For a raw roll, pretty much. I'm happy.
She does not have anything going on.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Cool. You guys all dive out ducking. Shell, like as
Every
you're like
time.
going, try to get you like trip over like a log, man. You're like stepping over like this big log, and your foot like just gets hung up behind you, and you fall. Boom.
Okay,
like,
can I pretend to be a
sprawl
shiny rock now?
Yeah, sure you can. You just like, like close up. And so as you guys are all hiding, you see the dwarf like come barreling, like cutting across the line you guys were running in, and he turns, and his eyes very distinctly catch sight of Shael. And you guys are able to see that like the dwarf sees him. He doesn't seem to see any of the rest of you. And like off he goes. Like, and then he like jumps again, and you guys see him like jump this impossible distance of like 25 feet, like landing like far on like a rock away from you, and he just charges. And the sound dies as he runs away from you into the woods, the wyvern just over the treetops following behind.
Just gonna look over and be like, oh my god, the wyvern ate Thinnea, she's dead!
Okay, let's not jump to conclusions, and then like I again take off. I grab Tone if I can, and I take off, kind of like pushing him, like running toward where we saw them coming from.
Okay, that's fine, right? I mean, we're supposed to follow the wyvern, but I guess better to go there than follow them again. Sure.
I also, like, on my side, know that I told them to find it, so I think I would have started from afar after I got all of my stuff, kind of following where it's going. Yeah.
Okay, you're like slowly like tracking that line that he ran off in, and as you come, I'd imagine like you were probably able to spot them first because there's so many more of them like moving through the woods, but you hear the sounds of like brush breaking and like slow footfalls coming to you, and then you could hear like the undercurrent of Poe and Tone's voice, and sure enough, like here they come after, I don't know, a few moments, like 3 or 4 minutes of like walking out in this direction. You're able to like hook up on them, and you guys like I don't know, what do you do, Thinnea, as you like see them coming? You've got the jump on them.
I have 2 ideas. One is really nice and one is really mean.
I think you know which one you want to do.
I know which one I want to do, but that's not the one that matches. Funnier? Exactly. I'm actually going to run towards Poe and give him a big hug.
Aww.
Aww.
Hold her back and be like, oh my god, I thought you were dead.
And then, can Tone be behind him? Tone is behind him, right?
Yeah, Tone's like right there, just like a step behind and to the right. Yeah.
Great. So then I'm hugging him, and then I look at Tone and I mouth, "Do you have my goblet?"
I'll just sort of give like a nice curt nod to that.
And I'll give him a thumbs up.
Okay, so you guys are like standing here, right, in this like section of like woods with these thick pine trees about you, not far from the pond with the random dead man next to it. Olus Broadblade has run off into the forest, chased by this wyvern, and so you guys like stand reunited and feel so good.
Are you hurt?
And I'll relay everything that happened to me, so including like the poison and the conversation. Like, there's nothing that I need to keep secret there, so I'll relay all of it.
Well, we're pretty sure the dwarf didn't see us when he ran through, so...
You might have seen one of us.
What? No! Shiny rock!
Do you think we should maybe go check the way of the arrow now, guys? Now that we got our friend back?
I mean, it could be fun.
Do we think that there's anything left there at this point? It's probably been close to, an hour since that arrow initially dropped?
So
we have the fake arrow. That would kind of help, right? I think that was the whole idea behind it, right? We just put the fake arrow and the real arrow.
Did Thinnea relay the part of the conversation where he asked about Wound and the axe?
Yeah, for sure.
You did, and you mentioned that. Okay, so Dudes, I think the axe is probably more valuable than anything they could have dropped for us.
Yeah, but do you think Wound might be there?
Ooh.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. That guy doesn't sound very trustworthy. I mean, I don't know. He stole Thinnea, drugged her.
Why would he?
Drunk. What was he gonna do after he got her drunk?
Well, why would?
I got him drunk. Excuse me.
But why would he tell her a lie if he was gonna kill her?
I just don't think maybe the axe is as useful as he says. I mean, it looked really evil to me, and evil is not my jam. Maybe it's your jam, but it's not my jam.
Sarah speaks up and says, the axe is powerful. She says, that dwarf has a reputation as a bit of a story collector. He's known, not by me. I'd never met him before this, but I saw him speaking to the Minotaur that first day before we left. I overheard part of their conversation. From what I can understand, Kurg Fellhand originally got the axe from some lost mage fortress in the north, in the Crimson Dynasty. The Minotaur is from there. She says, Kurg bartered for the axe, for use of it during his lifetime. She says, but they weren't sure if he were even still alive, so I believe that the Minotaur is here seeking it, and so he will not rest with Wound carrying it. I'm sure of it.
Great.
Those
So they'll
two
take
will
care of each
cross
other.
paths.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I don't have any vested interest in this axe whatsoever.
Look, the fact of the matter is, a lot of things have been trying to kill us. I think we want to get out of here as soon as we can. I think that we've sort of been, for lack of a better term, dawdling around, pursuing axes, bothering woodwoes, when our goal is to get to the center and GTFO. I think we need to make our way there as soon as possible. The sooner we stay in here, the sooner that these other people, things, or the actual environment is going to start attacking us, and we might not be as lucky as we have been the past couple days.
So
If we all show ourselves together in the center as one group, we'll be turned against one another. I have little doubt of that.
Dude,
Under my breath.
Well, we know
like,
how to pick up easily.
Under your breath, you say what?
like it's not even audible. I'm like, well, I won't have a very difficult time doing that to you. I hate her so much.
She like glances at you, like wrinkles her nose a little bit, and she says, I've told you already, I will help you, I'll stay with you. Our luck will be better if we stay as a larger group. She says, but that axe, your friend might be right, and she gestures at Poe. She says, it's powerful. For them to have sent the Minotaur here to fetch it, whoever gave it to Kurg wants it back, and that means it's powerful.
I think we should find the axe and then find the druids and try to get out of this place.
Yeah.
I don't want to really be thrown in jail or enslaved, even if we do somehow make it to the center of this thing.
I
Look,
have
if
power
you-
in Chimeria's dynasty, so I can make sure that you're not thrown in jail.
Look,
All of us?
even if we want to find this axe, how do we go about even looking for it? As from what I recall, we let that dapper fellow just run off with the axe into the middle of the woods while we were beset by other
He was
creatures.
pretty dapper.
I think we might be able to kill two birds with one stone here. Let's head toward the arrow, and I'll use my locating powers to maybe find out where the axe is if he's somewhere near the arrow too.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I really like this Poe. I mean, we had an idea. We'll find the druids. We'll go with Sarah. Maybe we'll get an axe. I don't know, but I think in general, like that's just the right thing to do. Pretty sure if we go to the center, we'll have to kill each other, and I don't really want to do that.
Me neither, dudes.
So yeah,
I like that Tone and I are like, eh.
you guys are
Listen,
kind of
I found my
protected.
number one again. Like, I am totally copacetic right now, for being completely honest.
I just have a vested interest in getting the turtles out of here in one piece, and I think the best way to do that is to try and not get to the center and kill them.
It's so nice when you get to be my age, people start finding you important. They want to protect you.
So let's go.
Yeah, let's head toward the arrow, guys.
Okay, who's taking lead?
Let's let our search hound take the lead again.
Yeah, I'll go.
Go, boy.
Somebody can help him if they want. If anybody else. So survival check. Poe.
He came up with this plan. Let him lead the way.
It's true.
Nobody wants to help.
I'll give him assistance.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
Sure.
27.
Good job.
He no stick of help.
You made a real point of orienting yourself to that thing before you started running madly through the woods. So despite getting twisted around a little bit, as you start like making your way back towards the east, you're able to see like the last like lingering wisps of cloud in the air pointing out this location and get yourself lined right up. And so you begin like plodding and trekking, making your way back through these ruins, all these overgrown, broken stone walls covered in vines, and you're pushing through thick bramble bushes, scraping at your clothes and dragging at your equipment, hooking onto your sword belts, and it's a pain in the ass. It's hot and humid down here beneath the canopy. The heat is now like starting to pick up. We're in like the early hours of the morning, and the sun is hot in the Emerald Dynasty today. And you could hear the buzzing of like insects all around you, as well as the kind of persistent and ever-present fluttering and hawing and cawing of crows in the branches all around you as you go, watching you every step that you take through this place.
I'm gonna take up my hobby again of feeding the crows as we're walking through the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like as you go, the Pied Piper of Skaden is like collecting the crows behind you, throwing what's left of like Edgar's conjured, very nutritious but bland food out for the crows in fistfuls. This bread, right? And the crows are like gobbling it up and falling and cawing, and it's turning into this kind of like perpetual squawking and cawking as we go. And so, after, I don't know, about an hour and a half, the terrain begins to like change a little bit. The trees begin to thin out and the undergrowth is not like quite as dense. You're passing like fewer of these like ruined and toppled like stone buildings, and you could see the ground like heading downward at like a downward pitch, and you cross over like a stream that's about like 5 or 6 feet wide, and as you come up the other side you're onto like flat ground and mostly grass that's just about knee tall at this point, and there's a few scattered trees, and you could see like a field kind of opening out in front of you, and there's a few scattered trees in the field, but you recognize like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is the area. Just like past those trees over there, that's pretty much like where we're supposed to be going. So if there's any last minute preparations.
Should we maybe shut the crows up?
I'll talk to the crows and I say, fly ahead. Scout it out for us, boys.
Yeah, they all just kind of like, like they're like flying and like shifting from like one tree to the other and jumping down at your feet, and some of them are growing like brazen now. One of them like pecks at your boot, and they seem to like not be, acquiescing to your request whatsoever.
I hope he gets a negative for stealth checks.
They seem like they want more food, right? They've been like eating good for like a while here. They're just like, like the whole like lot of you guys have this group of crows around you, that's the deal, man.
I had a plan, and that plan didn't work.
It's okay, Tone. Stories will be told of us coming with a murder of crows, like the 5 horsemen of the apocalypse.
6.
6. I don't even know how to count.
Oh God. Okay. So she's like, "What's the plan? I'm following you lot."
What do we see? Do we see like a crate or something?
hear anything?
What you're seeing is like this open field with the whole like scattering of trees off about like 60 feet in the distance. Off beyond that, you could see what looks like the rubble of like one little stone building and a couple of like maybe pillars, it looks like. And like it's hard to like see much more than that from where you are. You guys are too far away. You gonna move in and approach?
I want to throw like a rock in there first.
Wait.
Ryeth, you turned me invisible before,
Yeah.
man. Why don't you go scope out the sitch?
I'm not the best scoper. I'm gonna throw it out there. That's not my marketable skill. And given the change of recent events, I would say Thinnea is the best one. But I don't know. I feel things are fluctuating. So,
dude,
Poe,
I can scope,
Poe,
but
why
I
don't you
can't
come with me?
sneak.
Why don't you come with me, Poe?
Okay.
And I'll cast invisibility on Poe, and then invisibility on me.
Hold my hand, buddy.
So 2 third-level spells, okay, or second-level spells, okay, got it.
Cool. And then we're going to very delicately approach.
Make stealth checks with advantage.
Oof.
This could be rough.
Oh, 19.
Excellent.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mr.
team.
Thunderbuck, 18. Okay, so the two of you come like sneaking up, and with that, I shall put you upon the map. Ooh,
It's
map.
never good when the map is involved.
Ooh, here is you guys snuck up. The rest of you are a bit further back up here at the top of the map, but I just want you on the actual thing to see what's going on here. And so as you guys come like sneaking up and you look out, you're able to like break across, like you're down low in this short grass, and you go like dashing across the open space and duck up behind one of these trees. And so, yeah, I had you by the trees because I figured you're hiding. It's okay. And so you see this small, like, ruined building down here off to the side of yet another pond, this small body of water. And you could see in the middle of, like, this pond is, like, a little island, maybe only about 20 feet wide by 10 feet across. Around it are this series of stone columns that you could see. It looks like perhaps once there was some type of like canopy or roof over this area, but it has long since fallen apart. And you can see one lone figure here on the island itself, like rummaging through what looks like an empty, open chest, rather. And there's a few weapon racks standing up behind it that look picked bare and like empty. But it's the figure of Zoltur, the hobgoblin monk, by himself as he stands out here, like digging frantically through what's left of this empty chest.
Hey, Ryeth, isn't that your friend?
No, he's not my friend. He's Tone's friend.
Oh,
Either way, let's go check out what he's doing.
okay. I'll follow you.
All right. So I'm gonna approach. Oh, it's over here. I see.
Okay, as you guys start moving in, the rest of you from where you're like stashed back here at the edge of like this riverbed up to the north, you guys hear a sound like coming from off on your right, and it's like heavy thudding footfalls, deliberate. Thump, 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 thump. And you can see like the tall, ominous silhouette coming along like through this field, walking kind of parallel to the river from left to right. And the horns are the first thing that you spot in the morning. The enormous white horns kind of glistening in the sunlight as he comes. But the minotaur Dogan is like stalking in towards the supply site, and you glance out just in time to see like Ryeth and Edgar like sneak from the tree further in. So you guys make your way here to the the water line as the hobgoblin is just kind of like standing back up straight, and like it stops freezing with its back to you for a second, immobile, and then it snaps its head around like lightning, like, What are you doing there?
Us?
Wait, they're invisible.
We're invisible.
Oh, you are invisible. Yeah, it is. So it snaps around, like looking, like, hey, and like glancing, like, I know you're out there. I can hear you. I can smell you.
To be like, well, then you better drop your shit and run, bro.
Yeah, dude, drop your shit and run.
You see him like pull back a little bit, and his eyes go wide as he like turns, like looking like past you guys, past the trees that you guys came from, and then he glances up in the sky, and like looks down, like in the area that you guys are, right through you, and he turns and begins to run. So I guess right here, let's roll initiative.
What? We're so far away.
I know you are. I'm sorry. I did not expect these guys to go as far in as this.
I didn't click my tracker. Sorry.
That's okay. Click him now and just re-roll.
Oh, great.
And then I'll give you the first roll. I'm not, whatever the first.
Thank
roll
you. 16.
Tone, we were both totally prepared for this battle.
Yeah, completely. Listen, I didn't want to come here in the first place. I'm just throwing a little fit. Like,
yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna go.
I'm throwing a little fit, he said. I love it. Oops, that was not right. Sorry. Gosh, where is she? Up here with you guys. Right.
Typical Sarah. 4.
Let's see if she can actually hit something this time.
Yeah, for real. Hey, she hit a couple of things last time. Wasn't that bad.
Emphasis on a couple.
This guy here, 13, and she's got 4.
Can you move the Minotaur in like
yes,
5
I can.
or 4 or 5 boxes?
Got it. The Minotaur comes like moving in 5 boxes to here conveniently. and yeah, he's the guy that I'm actually concerned with.
Okay, the initiative is Ryeth.
Okay, a couple of things like happen at once. Zoltur like just turns to run, and you see him like look to the sky like, oh no, and yeah, he turns to like take off running. But Ryeth, you go first on 16. What would you like to do?
This water ahead of me, does it look like it's like wadeable, or?
Yeah.
All right,
You
so
jump in?
Yeah. I'm gonna jump in and head towards the island. So,
do you have resistance to lightning damage or anything like that? As soon as you jump into the water, you feel like this burst of electricity hit you for 2 points of damage.
Oh God!
You see the runes on the pillars around the pool like flare. Like there's a series of runes that kind of flares yellow, like in a kind of pattern, like circling around the edge of this thing.
Well, I'm already in it, right? So
you can continue moving.
I'm going towards the island then, and I want to start looking in what's in the box.
As you jump up and look down into the box, it's picked pretty clean. There's really like almost nothing left in there. You could see like the crumbs of what looks like some food. There's a smashed apple or two in like the corner of it. There's a loose like dagger laying off on the side, and like that's it. That's all you see.
Just gonna sigh. I mean, that's my movement and action, right?
Yeah, that's your movement action. Shal, you're up.
Now, I want to see you two, lady and sir, being all sassy over here. I want to see you guys in the fight this time.
Me?
Well, actually,
yeah, Thinnea, stop running away from fights and hiding.
Actually, I forgot.
That does all of the damage?
I forgot. Thinnea has done a little bit of shooting here and there.
A little.
Yeah, a lot in comparison to Tone. That's all I'm saying.
Words, kind sir. Those that we do not. Those that we do. The blood that we do not need to shed.
I don't think words are gonna hurt the Minotaur. I'm just saying. I doubt you're gonna talk your way out of this one.
But
I'll
are you talking your?
Lead the way.
No, I'm talking my way into this one.
No, I was gonna say you're talking your way, right? You use your whole action talking to us.
No.
That's your action.
Scolding us, yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, do we actually? Has he seen us?
No, but you can see now that like he's looking over. He's like looking this way, and you know your friends are invisible, but like he's coming this way. He's like in between you and your friends, right? So it's your call. But he doesn't seem to.
And then, do I see anything going on skyward? We're in a pretty open area.
Yeah, you look up to the sky.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. You see a horrible thing. As you look up, it's not
my favorite.
one of the wyverns. You expect it to be a wyvern, right? You look up and are like, these fucking wyverns. What is that? Is not a wyvern, and it's bad. It's really bad. And so I am going to pull us quickly off of this map as you take in the sight that you behold. And it is large, not quite as big as the wyverns are. The wings are covered in black feathers, like the crows that you've been watching everywhere that you come and go through this twisted forest. There is thin, muscular, bony, quadrupedal form that looks almost like a wolf, but it has these ridges of like bone horns sticking up out of it as it's like coming directly down towards the clearing. And you take in the sight of this hideous, rotting, desiccated, like winged wolf-like monstrosity.
Well, if he wasn't rotting, he'd be kind of cute.
He would, right? And so actually, I think, I know it's a little bit early, but I'm going to pause right now for a first break because my cats are going nuts, and I think it's a good dramatic point before we get into crazy combat. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as you see the sight of this creature descending down towards you guys, and it seems like this thing is definitely seeing you from its vantage up in the air, and you think, what the fuck am I going to do now? We'll pause for a little bit. Okay.
So I may have been a little hasty in saying, let's fight the Minotaur.
Oh, boy.
I keep forgetting to relay my plans to you guys. I don't know. I feel like you're going to read my mind or something. I don't know.
I don't get
But, like,
that spell.
every time I go to do this, my plan was like, we're not playing right now, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my plan was to go in and then teleport us the fuck out back to you guys. But I didn't say that. So
No,
you
that's
kind of
also a
don't
bad
know
place to be right now.
Right? Yeah.
This will be
Anyway.
interesting. Anyway, we're taking a short break. Get snacks, use the restroom, and yeah. Anyway, and we'll chit chat a little bit while we move on. I'm really excited for this monster play test. I wish you guys. What are you doing next Sunday? I think it's Sunday or Monday. Anyway, what are you up to this weekend, Mike?
Usual stuff. Lots of things to talk about. So little time to do it. So that's probably what I'm going to be spending my weekend doing. But I agree. Sounds really interesting. Specifically, I think this is. I don't know. Is this little wolf guy anything you've ever seen before? Maybe this is sort of like a nice appetizer for what the playtest you guys might be experiencing.
This like undead unicorn flying wolf beast. Not something I've dealt with before.
I'm a fan already.
Yeah. I wonder how we're going to be able to.
I won't be in like 20 minutes. Won't be a fan of it, but I'm a fan right now.
You're a fan of it flying around in the sky, not necessarily like touching down.
I like admiring from a distance. It doesn't have to come to me.
Mike, what did you think of the Survivor premiere?
I liked it. 2 hours is always tough, especially when one group is a little neglected by the edit just because they are
winning?
Not being. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to spoil as much as possible, even though it's like a week old at this point. But I'd say overall, I think I was entertained in general. I think it's a good foundation. I can't believe we're already 1/7 of the way through the season, as weird as that is to say, but I've been enjoying it so far. And I mean, I've also been biased in that I get to cover it in the capacity that I do. But I've been excited, and I've had 2 good exit interviews as well, so I'm excited about this cast at least.
The buzz is super positive around this season. I mean, like, I really enjoyed last season. I really liked the cast, probably more than most people. But like the buzz was kind of like, let's just wait till Ghost Island, just wait. So like I don't know, I'm trying to temper that because like the premiere for me was like, it was good, but like I was very instantly drawn to like Ryan and Devin last season, and like it was fun to have a vested interest for as long as they were in the game. And and in this season, like, I haven't been as immediately drawn. Like, there are a lot of people I like and a couple people I'm like, I don't know, you know, but it's just not as like like I haven't like connected to anyone, or, you know, I don't have a rooting interest yet, which is strange.
I mean, do you think it's because it's like 2 hours at once, whereas, you know, over the course of the fall, it got spaced out a little more and you had more time to sort of marinate in things?
Possibly. I just think that sometimes, like, you know, like when you go back to like a season like Philippines, where like Malcolm just, you know, from the very beginning, no matter what, like Malcolm and Denise stick out as this really cool dude, or Token, you know, like there's always like in that first episode, there's usually like a pair that gets together that's really interesting to me. And I think that who's the like New York blue collar
Dominic.
Dominic and the black dude Wendell, I think, are an interesting pair. But like nothing really sticks out as like, so I don't know, maybe the reason that this season will be good is because it'll be more fluid. There won't be as like static of groups, you know, that could be very interesting. But for the first episode, I was kind of like, I don't know what to think of any of these people. I don't know. I don't like two tribes though.
Well, and it's also tough with 20 people as well, because there's just only so much you can show in 2 hours, especially when you're really focused around someone like Jacob, for example, who is so involved. And I'm just completely done away with not spoiling this episode. So I could definitely understand that. But, you know, I'm excited for it.
Me too.
It's Survivor. It's back. It means spring is coming, which is good as well, even though, you know, the East Coast is about to get hit with a killer snowstorm apparently overnight. So if they want to send that message to the powers that be, that'd be great as well, because I would love for spring to come sooner rather than later.
Yep. Me too. I'm heading up to Reno for Running Up Reno at the end of March for a couple weeks. You guys will see me. I'll be moving my whole studio, essentially. I'll be taking everything apart, putting it together up there for a couple weeks, and then coming back because we've got a house up there. But it's going to be like snowing potentially for like a good part of it. So that I'm kind of excited because I haven't had any snow being in LA this year. And when we were up in Tahoe for the holidays, it wasn't snowing yet. So like, I'm kind of excited to have it, but yeah, I'm like, it's going to be blizzardy for the next month or so. I think the weather's about to get really crazy all over the place.
Have you ever like packed up your studio before and moved it to another location to do something?
So yes, but not this one. So before I was running it, it wasn't as big, and it was just off of like my laptop. I had 2 screens, a couple cameras, a couple microphones, and I was able to get it up and running pretty easily. But this is like a huge desktop with 4 screens and like more cameras. So it's going to be a big thing, but it's worth it to me to get out of LA for a couple weeks and like, you know, I don't know. So how about you, Alan? How's your gaming going?
Well, it goes, you know, I'm only kind of good, you know. I'm not
humble.
Like
he's good. He's good.
No, come on.
He's the best.
I have bursts. Good. I have bursts of genius where I see through the matrix, and it's but I don't get like, it's not like a switch. It's like, you know, when the cord's broken on your controller and it works when it wants to. So
you can't put it on. You can't turn it on yourself. It's just
I don't like
cheat codes. No.
It's not like I sit down in front of the computer and it just like is an on switch and I'm like amazing at games. Just happens when it wants to.
Awesome.
But I don't know. I've been practicing on Pokken Tournament, and got a better win than loss ratio. So we'll see when I go into, because when I go to stream it, I'm gonna do ranked. I haven't done any ranked yet, so it'll be the big ranked grind. See how far I can get.
Yeah, I
Nice,
can't wait
that'll
to
be
check
fun.
that out.
I can't either. I'm actually going to enjoy watching that, dude. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, I'll be back in a moment. I'll leave you in
Yes.
the great hands of our DM. I'll be back.
Yes, do your thing. I'm excited, you guys. You're going to fight horrible flying wolf monsters. Yay!
So exciting. Just like can't wait.
So, Taryn, what should I know about DM Jazzy Hands before I play a 17th level character with him and go through his meat grinder?
So him and I actually had a discussion about this. I was like, I cannot wait to watch this.
I'm really excited.
Because you are like the DM that's like, all right, let's figure out a way to like give you that advantage because you crit and like you find ways to bend the rules in ways that like keep the game really fun. And he's like, no.
Well, that's the tradition that I came from. Believe me, I know it well. You know what I mean?
And he does too. Like he will like he'll be flexible on rules and things like that. This because you guys aren't role playing as much. Like we actually just did one of these play tests, and it is a lot of like just blowing shit up, and that's like the focus of it. So I'm really excited to see what you guys do. I'm really excited to see you guys. It's going to be really interesting to see you guys playing together, and you as a character is going to be really interesting. Like I'm excited.
I started getting into like a real like role player mindset, and I'm like, okay, I've been like nursing this idea for a Furbolg Paladin for like 8 months, man, and I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna. And then I'm like, we're gonna play 17th level characters, and we're going into a meat grinder to like play test monsters. I'm playing a fucking mage. Like I don't know what I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if he has any personality at all. You know, like,
it really doesn't.
Level fucking spells. That's what I need, man. Yeah. So I think I'll end up playing like an Alvin mage or something like that, and really pop off and have some fun with it. But I'm looking forward.
I was playing my first character, wizard, who's 16, I think, and it's just like blowing shit up and like doing as much damage. And I think we played 2. We killed one of them relatively easily, and then the other one just like destroyed us.
Nice, cool. So, that's exciting.
Yeah. Good luck.
I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped. And so, Alex, starting next Tuesday, we'll be firing off our second show in Abrea. I think we're going to be calling it Abrea before the campaign. And I'm really excited about that. We're going to finish tweaking out our characters this week, so we'll keep all that under wraps. But we'll have a consistent show on every week on Tuesday at 7:30, 4:30 Pacific for you cool kids out there. But I'm psyched about it, dude. I'm looking forward to that.
I likewise am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to playing a character that isn't a little kid. You know?
Yeah, that'll be. I have some fun ideas. I want to talk to you about it tonight, but I've got some items drawn for you guys, and I have some really fun ideas. I think it'll be cool. It's going to be a bit of a pirate game, I think, which is cool.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the idea, right? So I have some fun things in the works for my character that kind of tie in, and I think John does too. And I really, what I'm really excited about, to be honest with you, is playing in this world, like the actual world versus the gamut, right? Because the gamut is constricting in many ways, whereas like the actual world, we're going to start to get the culture of like, why does Sarah hate Chimerian? Because at this point, like, we know they're evil people, but like,
there's no context.
There's no context to it. So I think that'll be really fun. Right?
Evil is relative.
I'm excited to play a more traditional game. I think it's going to turn into a bit more of like a free-for-all, like a couple of, knuckleheads like yo-yoing around the world, making trouble, kicking up, ant nests and stuff. I have
a 7 intelligence, right? That was the...
that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's excellent stuff. Okay, cool. Wagons have been circled. Everyone has been fed and caffeinated. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okie dokie. So, as it's Sha'el's turn, and the group of you is clustered up on the edge near this riverbank, looking out across this open field, the Minotaur, Dogan, is stalked out into the middle of it, and he stands between you and your invisible friends who are with the hobgoblin monk Zoltur near the actual the empty container, what's left of the supplies. and you see this hideous creature reaching down out of the sky towards you guys. Shael GreyThorne, what would you like to do?
Well, is he coming towards the big group?
Yes, yes, I will put him on the map right now. It's right here, and it's diving down towards you guys, for sure.
Towards us, okay.
Yeah, it's coming towards this group in the back. Yep.
So now you have to do something, Tone.
You say that now, but...
Say that now.
Sorry.
I'm not a fan of any of this nonsense.
How could you be? How could you be?
And it's not even like sort of dark. Is it like sort of dark right now? Are we in like dusk?
No.
Not a fan of that. Okay. See, I shouldn't have gotten up. I would have been ready. Yeah, I don't think I want to do anything. I don't want to run, but I do want to run. I do want to run. Nah. I'm gonna move like right here and just be the rock that I tried to be earlier.
Weapon, anything like that? You just move.
And I'm gonna. I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna summon. I'm gonna go with a long sword this time.
So you watch as Shael steps out in front of you guys, Thinnea and Tone, and he like just extends his hand, and this like watery like blue sword emerges with the marbled turtle shell handle and the blade itself seemingly almost liquid, pure water, gleaming blue as it like appears out of the ether. So that's your movement action. You're gonna just stand there and wait.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Ryeth, you see the hobgoblin Zoltur, and he kind of like saw your invisible form splashing through the water, and he takes a step back, and as he's standing here now, you see clutched in his fist a diamond, a big one.
Fuck! I need that.
And he's like looking right through you, unsure where you are, but you see him like glance down toward the ground and like the water like kind of dripping off your robes underneath you. But he gets to like the edge here and jumps to right there. What is that? 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. And then he's going to start to run. He's able to get himself to about here. Jeez. Poe, you're up.
I've got to help my friend Ryeth, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to move to here, next to this.
He's up 2 more spaces. Yes.
Jeez.
Yep. I'm sorry.
I'm going to move there, and then how far is he away now? 20 feet? Okay. So now I can cast... Let me see how far... Okay, it's 30 feet. I am going to cast Blindness on Zoltur.
What's the saving throw?
Sorry.
Always got tricks.
Second level. It is
Constitution.
Constitution save.
I'm just double checking all his good stuff. Yep, he has no good stuff to help him with that particular thing. 11. Yeah, so he's still running, but you see him like he like grabs his face, like holding his hands, like clutching at his eyes as he goes whipping his head around.
And then I am going to...
And you become visible when you do this.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to, with my bonus action, call up to Deimos and Phobos and ask them to drop down my yo-yo right in front of him, my spiritual weapon. And I'll cast that at second level. 18
Walk
to
the
hit.
dog!
Shoot the moon!
Oh, wait, he's blind.
I'm sorry, where did you say you wanted to put it?
Right in front of him. to stop. Yeah, like there, whichever direction he's running. And yeah, he's blind. I don't know where the blind description is. Crap.
Well, you just spammed it. It's here. Choose one. There, he's blinded.
Yeah, but
you just want the status? Here we go. I think it gives him disadvantage on attacks, advantage on attacks against him. Blinded. Okay. He can't see. He automatically fails ability checks that require sight. Attack rolls against him have advantage. His attack rolls have disadvantage.
Great. Okay. So yeah, I dropped the spiritual weapon, and second level, it'll hit him for 12 force damage.
Okay, so this spectral yo-yo appears, one side gleaming yellow like the sun, the other with blue silvery moonlight almost, as like it snaps out on this spectral string, smashing into the hobgoblin for 12 points of damage. And he snarls, blind, whipping his head side to side, unsure. But he was able to hear your words as you cast the spell. That's your movement, action, bonus action.
All done.
Okay, Dogan, the Minotaur, goes. What's his distance? Gosh, what do we got here?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Problems.
I'm still invisible.
Correctamundo. You are invisible. Okay, Dogan appears pissed. He sees Poe. You guys can see from like afar. Past the tree line, you see Poe like wink into existence, and you could see the like glimmering of like the spiritual weapon as it's summoned and pummels into the hobgoblin trying to run. And with that,
he has to move around that tree, though, right? He has to use some movement to go around the tree.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
You're in good shape. You're in pretty good shape. He dashes. Shit. He comes charging up, pulling his axe and splashing through the edge of the water, taking electrical damage. 3 points of fucking lightning damage, and he makes it to here.
Jeez.
That's a place nobody
wanted.
He's
just like, where are you going?
Home. Buddy, Dogan, what's up?
He spits. Shouldn't have given that orc my axe.
I didn't want to give him your axe. I don't like the orc any more than you do.
Well, we'll talk about it on your turn, puppy. For now, Thinnea, you are up on 7.
Okay. I am just going to. I'm a hide behind Sarah. You want me to roll stealth?
This is like a tough situation. Roll stealth, sure. There's all like underbrush and stuff that you're trying to like duck around and move past. 20. Okay. You're able to like get down low and like skirt alongside some of like the brush, and get yourself like out of the thing's line of sight. So when you pop back up, it's not expecting you.
Okay. So then I am, going to prepare my short bow for if it starts to attack us. If it does, then I'm going to launch the short bow.
Okay, excellent. You're holding your action to attack it. Tone Goodheart, what would you like to do?
How high up is this thing?
About 20 feet right now.
Okay. I'm going to try this. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I'm excited.
All good plans start with, I'm going to try this. Let's see what happens.
So in my hand, I have a handful of Edgar's really bland meal. I'm gonna step out, gonna take a few steps forward. I'm gonna chuck the food at the wolf creature.
Okay, roll.
And I'm gonna see if the crows follow.
Roll it up.
What should I roll?
Just make like any attack with like your short bow or with your long bow. Make a longbow attack. It's the same.
Yeah, I guess it's a ranged attack technically.
That
is a 24.
24 hits. So you heave the really bland food at this thing, and the crows overhead cannot help but to respond as they have been trained. One might actually say at this part, Goodheartian, as the crows begin to swarm. Oh, that's terrible. I don't have a good crow token attached. I messed up. I've dropped the ball. Crows begin descending out of the sky, like swarming around the thing, and you could see it like snapping its head around, like impaling crows with the horn off of its nose. It like grabs one and just like crushes it in its jaws, and it's still flying at you guys, but it is clearly at least slightly disoriented and distracted by the swarm of crows that are at its base.
Cool. So then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to keep running towards the trees.
Okay.
Towards the Dogan?
Towards the Dogan. Got to protect the invisible boys.
Okay. Sarah is up and she sees this thing like coming through the sky, and she's just like, by the wind, I don't believe this. She's just like Fenraven. She spits the word as it's coming. And so she will cast, God, stupid pre-spells.
I like that every time we run into a foe, Sarah like rolls her eyes and is like, I can't believe something's attacking us. As if like you knew.
What did you expect this to be?
For real.
Kind of walk in the park?
She wasn't expecting it. The three of you, she casts bless on as she conjures up like the blessing of the wind spirits. And she steps in shoulder to shoulder with you, Thinnea, and like snaps this like whip up off of her belt. That is her turn. So you guys all have bless cast on you. Nice. And now it goes. And it proceeds. You can take your shot, Thinnea. It's coming like at you guys. It like is just barreling down. The crows still like swarming around its face.
I can't believe that worked.
It did. It worked quite well. 26 hits.
Oh my gosh.
For 11 plus. Wow, 14. So you fire an arrow up. You're like watching, waiting carefully. And as like the crows kind of part, as it dives down towards the ground, it pushes through this sort of swarm of crows that's up around its face and its shoulders. And you fire the arrow up as soon as it breaks through the other side. And the thing like rips up underneath the jaw. You see it come in and like rip up out of the backside of its neck, sailing away into the air. As it comes roaring down on top of all of you guys. Okay. It lands, boom, hitting the ground in front of you. It goes to gore you, Shael, with the horn on the front of its face.
Why wouldn't
11 misses.
Ain't touching nothing.
And then it like snaps out its wing.
Oh, okay.
The left wing with like this bony like spur up on the top of it for you today. Oh Jesus, that's hilarious.
What the hell?
I'm gonna go ahead and say a 99 hits me.
Correct. Wait till you see the damage.
What the Jesus is this thing?
Wait until you see the damage. It was plus 80 instead of plus 8. So 14. Does that hit?
I'm sorry? 14?
14. Yeah.
No.
Big surprise. I should have gone back to the 99. So it snaps out like its wing, which has like this kind of spike at the elbow joint down at you. And you're able to like duck down behind it, like missing it. And then it's going to take a claw slap at Sarah. 17 does hit.
Aww.
For 11 points of damage. It like rakes out, like ripping the claws across the wind priestess as she winces like, ah! Okay, that's its turn. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you're up.
All right, I kind of prematurely casted my spell, but I wanted to read it. But now you guys know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cast Suggestion on the weird hobgoblin monk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, drop the diamond and help us fight the greater foes.
What is it? Wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, I know. It's a wisdom, but hopefully Hopefully he rolls low.
Good luck, friend.
Oh, he gets it. Fuck.
16. It turns and looks at you like this disgusting kind of like laughing sound through his gross beak. So that suggestion, you still have movement and a bonus action. And you appear, by the way.
Yeah.
And Dogan the Minotaur like snaps his head over as he hears the words of your spell.
All right, so I'm gonna. It looks like this like square is half in the water and half out of the water. Is that like a thing, or is that
whatever it is? What are you trying to do? You're just trying to.
I want to use. I want to use Tempest Magic to just fly across over to Poe.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Do you do that? 10 feet.
Yeah, 5, 10. I'm over here.
Just like swirls up around him, and his dreads like blowing and battering in the air as he like lifts up, just landing lightly on the edge of the bank next to Poe.
I'm just gonna head over to here, and I'm gonna shout to the Minotaur and be like, "We're not your enemies. Look at the thing in the sky." And yeah, that's much.
He like glances over his shoulder, like, "Looks like your friends have to worry about that one." That's Ryeth, Thunderbuck. Shael, GreyThorne, you're up.
Oh boy. I'm going to Hexblades curse this mofo. This ugly guy. The fat
you conjure the power of the Leviathan and focus your energy onto it, and yeah, you feel your magic like take hold, binding around this hideous creature.
And let us see if I can't hurt it real hard.
Hurt him! No advantage, right?
But what if instead of doing that I took a 5-foot step that way and then did it?
Well, then it would have been a whole different combat, and that would be a different reality. 13, you swing, and like the sword drags across the flesh.
Can he add the
bless?
D4 to it?
The bless?
You
17?
You are blessed. You
yes.
can roll.
Give me the D4. I have to dig it out. There we go. There we go.
Don't forget the
Good
blessing.
job.
That's a 4. Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
17 hits. And so you drag the sword across this thing. And you see like it's like desiccated, rotting flesh, just like sheer open, and no blood spills forth from it, but it does look like it damages it. So 10 points of damage.
And then I'm going to burn a spell slot for this. And then take a 5-foot step over here.
And you are just like, you call the power of the Leviathan, and you guys see this like watery sword like gleam like white fire for a minute. And you could hear almost a hissing sound. So 20 points of damage on the Fenraven. That's sick. Nice.
He's here for his bone cleaning.
And do you do extra damage against when you have your curse up?
Yes, only on
efficiency bonus.
Oh, so sick. Plus, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's your movement. Bonus action. That is Shael's turn. Okay, Zoltur is over here, tangled up with the stupid spiritual weapon. He turns and like looks at you guys. Like, he's pissed. He doesn't love you people. He's going to... Oh, yeah, he's blind.
Yep.
Didn't see nothing.
He summons a globe of darkness over you guys. 15-foot radius sphere. So, hold on a second. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to get rid of that and do this.
It's very Zen music for the death.
I know.
It is Zen music for the death. He summons a sphere of darkness over you guys. Actually, God, it should be bigger. Tiny bit bigger, but it's really like just these spaces, right? 15 by 15. So Ryeth and Poe, You guys are swallowed up in the darkness for a moment, effectively as blinded as he is. You can make an opportunity attack against him with the spiritual weapon, Poe.
Okay. Technically that's advantage, or like what happens now?
Yeah, it still has advantage. Yes,
Okay,
it does.
So 23 to hit.
Yep, hits.
10 force.
For 10 force damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he wanders off this way. You hear the sound of the spiritual yo-yo smashing into Zoltor, and you hear him like suck in breath and wince as he's hit. Got it. 22. That's his turn. Poe, you're up.
Okay. So I will step. Well, I know where. I'm just going to turn to the Minotaur dude, to Dogen, and I'll be like, I want to kill Wound too. You help us get this guy. We'll help you with Wound, and then that's with my action, and then with my bonus action, I'll move my spiritual weapon. I'll step back one toward him to talk to him.
You can't see past the darkness is the problem, right? Like this is blocking your line of sight down to where Zoltor is. Like it was fine for the weapon to hit him because you knew where he was, but now he's moved. So you got to get left or right to be able to get vision on him or come down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how he put the darkness up on us when he has blindness, but I can't move my spiritual weapon to him when I can't see through the... Anyway, whatever. I'll just move... I'll just end my turn. I'm done.
Okay, roll a persuasion check against the Minotaur. As you're like trying to like 13. Get him to like cut past you. 13. Okay. Interesting. Okay, 13 will earn you around. And so like he's standing here holding the axe, looking down at you, over you, and he's just like, I saw the noblewoman let him take the axe. Are you with her or not?
Can I answer that? Or
help me hunt him down? Yeah, you can answer it.
Okay, that happened quickly, and I was not a part of it. I want to talk to her about that still.
Talk is cheap. Thinnea, Hallowwhisper, you're up.
How wounded is this thing in front of me looking?
Not very.
Not very. Okay. So I am going to use my rapier first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I crit.
Nice. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
20! Okay, for 12 plus the sneak attack. God, I got to double check, but I feel like it gets doubled, doesn't it? The dice get doubled.
It does. Okay? So roll it twice?
Yeah, roll it again.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So 12, 28, 30, 40 points of damage. So you like roll around after this thing attacked you, and you snap the bow back up into your the holster on your back, and whip the rapier out, like throwing it into your right hand as you release the bow, and just you drive it down into like the head of this thing, like right through one of its eyes, and the sword like jams down out of the bottom side of its head at the jaw, and it looks really fucking hurt now. From where it did a second ago. It's still up, but it looks really, really damaged. Oh no, I lie. You drop it. You drive the sword right down through its head, and the whole thing like goes with you, following the weight of the blade and like crashing and collapsing into a heap on the ground at your feet. That was pretty ridiculous fucking backstab right there.
Seriously.
So that's your action. You still have movement and bonus action.
Yeah, so I'm going to move. Oh my goodness. I'm so far away. Nope. Can you... Sorry, the zoom is not working for me. Can you show me how far I can move with my regular movement, which is 30?
Yes.
I'll just follow wherever Tone went, so you can just move me down 30. That's fine.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
No problem. So you're down to like here. Tone Goodheart, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna dash behind here. I'm gonna take a look at Edgar and just sort of like see if I can gauge how he's dealing with the conversation and see if I necessarily need to help the situation along.
You probably do. As you look at Edgar, Edgar seems to be trying to reason with this guy, but you see that the Minotaur seems to have like run out of patience, and he's like clenching the axe, and his muscles are like tensing as he's beginning to like lift it up. You know what I mean?
Then I am going to yell off to the east. I'm going to say, "Woon, he's after you. Keep running. Take that axe as far as you can go to the east. To the east. Go, Woon, go."
Roll deception.
Got a lot of cockamamie plans tonight, guys. That is a
Critical.
Oh yeah.
He turns around, like looks at you, like, and like then he glances back over his shoulder at you, Edgar, like, "Your lucky day, Turtle. I'm starting with the elf." So that was your movement and your action to dash here. Then you yelled for your bonus action. I guess that's your turn, Tone. You got anything else? Okay. Sarah goes. She too is going to just dash down here. You guys are all so far away. She comes charging forward to here. Okay, at this point, on one, Ryeth, you were still standing in the darkness, right?
Yeah.
And you hear a voice from behind, from like off out, actually in front of you. You hear like, "I told you stay in hole, smart guy. This real bad plan." And like all of a sudden jumping out of like these bushes in front of you, you hear it as well, Edgar, as can you, Tone, like over the Minotaur, like grunting. Uga jumps out of this bush where he was stashed right here along the edge of this thing.
Oh, it's my boy.
It is your boy.
The one ally I got.
So he like scurries around the edge of the wall to here and proceeds to the one ally I got. He proceeds to cast
He can cast spells?
Ray of Enfeeblement at the fucking Minotaur.
Fuck yeah. You're welcome, guys.
You see, like, you don't see him, Edgar, but you see this black fucking beam come, like, rocketing out from, like, behind the ruins over here and just smash solidly into the Minotaur's body. He will roll. Wait, what? Oh, no saving throw. Range spell attack. 3. It misses. It hits the Minotaur, but like deflects off of his armor, like cracking into the pillar here next to Tone. That happens on 1, and you guys hear like a sound coming from over in the like southeast.
Jeez.
As another one of these like creatures is like descending towards everyone. Then Ryeth, you are up.
All right. So in the words of Dogan, talk is cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It is.
I am going to move over to here, and I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt.
Oh, God. You just straight lightning bolt the fucking monk, huh? Okay.
Yep.
I'm assuming the monk, right? Not
Oh,
the-
yes. Oh,
You
yes.
really want that diamond.
I
You don't
really
give a shit
want
about
that
this guy.
I don't give a shit about them.
Dude, stop chasing after my boyfriend.
Dexterity saving throw. Critical 1. You
Oh, man.
blast him square in the fucking back with this lightning bolt, Ryeth. Like, 27 points of fucking damage to Soul Tour. That's your movement action. You got a bonus action?
My bonus action, I'm going to move a little bit closer towards him, and I'm going to shout out, "Drop the diamond!"
Yeah, he fucking throws. Well, no, it's not his turn yet. Shell GreyThorne, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna move I'm a saunter 30 feet forward.
This poor guy.
And I'm going to Eldritch Blast the Minotaur.
Okay.
Wow, maybe.
Crack! This explosion, this like blue, like force bolt of eldritch energy leaps off Shell's finger, lancing just past this column and smashing into Dogen from an incredible distance away. Roll damage.
It's pretty close to max. Yeah.
Got it. For 6 points of force damage. And he like turns, catching sight of you from the distance, like just points the axe at you.
And I stick my turtle tongue out at him. Yeah.
What a jerk.
Push you into another pit.
Zoltur proceeds to throw the diamond to the ground. And then he casts silence on you guys, 20-foot radius sphere right here.
Where?
On Ryeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on him. And then he rushes at you.
Oh shit.
I dropped the diamond. And he can't like see still, but he's a fucking monk and he can hear shit. Okay, that's his action, movement, bonus action. Nope. Okay, cool. Poe, you're up.
I will. I guess it's all happening. I'll call up to Deimos and say, "Thank you for blessing my spells today." And I'll put my hands out like what's the? Hold on.
Jesus?
No, I'll put my thumbs touching my fingers and then shoot out a cone of flames by casting Burning Hands at first level.
Okay.
The darkness is gone now, right?
No, it's why didn't it do anything?
No, the darkness
it's not concentration.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah, get rid of the darkness.
It's not doing anything. Hold on. Burning Hands.
Is it? It is concentration, yeah. Yep.
Level 1. Yeah, Burning Hands isn't doing anything.
Just roll the damage for it. Just double check it and we'll roll the damage for free. And he gets a saving throw, I believe.
Yeah, it's dexterity save 3d6. Half on a successful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
And you're shooting it at Dogen, right? Right in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. 14, he fails.
Fails. 3d6. 11 points of fire damage. And then it's a 15-foot cone. I don't know if it catches anything on the island, but anything flammable bursts into flame.
Yeah, like... It does. It catches this weapon rack right here, and that weapon rack does actually begin burning. The steam like hissing up off of like the lake itself as this like spray of fire rolls off Edgar's fingers. Okay, cool.
And then with my bonus action, I can't see it. But can I move the spiritual weapon back to me? I can only move it 20 feet, so I don't think I can actually.
Oh, I bet it was asking for a level, John.
It did. I clicked first level. It didn't roll after that. So I'll move the spiritual weapon to here because it's 20 feet and I don't want it to get trapped in the darkness just in case I can't get it out.
Wait, isn't the darkness gone?
Yes. Yeah,
the darkness
is
gone?
gone.
Okay, then I want
I'm sorry.
20 feet to... it'll be right behind me then. It'll be right here.
I'll actually pick the darkness up.
So the spiritual weapon will be right here.
Got it. Do you not have control of it? I thought I'd given it to you.
No, I don't.
Okay. I will now.
And then I will
I
will then move strafing to here and end my turn.
Okay, you rotate around the guy.
Yeah, rotate around him. I don't want
with your shield up tight in front of him. Got it. Okay, he turns, looking at the two of you like, and he steps in 1 foot into the water, taking electricity damage. Or should I say 2 points of electricity damage. And then he is making reckless attacks, multi-attack, 2 attacks around, great axe, tone. 23 and 19.
With the first one, I'm imposing disadvantage with my reaction.
With your shield, so you slap your shield out. So 15, 19.
1 hits.
20 points of slashing damage.
Dang!
As he like, fucking smashes you up against the pillar itself. The axe cleaving like through your robes and like your soft elven flesh. Terrible guy. Okay, cool. That's his 2 attacks. Thinnea, you're up.
I actually was not going to attack him, and then he just attacked Tone.
Yeah.
Oh well. He already hates me. Okay, so I'm gonna move, and then I am going to attack him with my short bow, or try to.
You and Sarah are like jockeying for position.
Uh-huh.
It's hilarious. 21 points hits. Yes, 21 hits for 11. Okay.
And Tone's within 5 feet, so I get the sneak.
Sure do. 47 points of damage down on Dogan. Got it. That's your movement, your action, bonus action? You could dash for free if you want, or you could do all your stuff. You got all your stuff,
Hide is an action or a bonus? I'm forgetting.
Yeah, as a rogue, you could do it as a bonus action.
Great, so I'm going to hide.
Okay. Tone Goodheart, you're up.
All right, I'm going to pull out the katana. Let's see if we can get some revenge on old Bullhead. Nope.
12 misses. He like blocks the sword with his axe, like bringing the half down low. Second attack?
Let's see. Well, can I attempt a stunning strike even though I missed with the weapon?
Do you still have your bless, by the way?
Make your second attack, and you can attempt a stunning strike with that one if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
And I think Stunning Strike's cool. Like, you use it after you know you hit. So 20 hits. So roll damage and Stunning Strike.
That is that. And then...
For 8 points of
and then
damage.
the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the end of their next turn.
Con save. Got it. He's got a decent con, but...
9.
Nope.
Fails.
Yes.
He is stunned until the end of Tone's next turn, which is forever from now. Yes. He is paralyzed. You still have a bonus action. What would you like to do with it?
Run away! I'm gonna dash this way.
Whoa.
Oh wow. Okay. As you come running up, you see that these two are like still like fighting one another, but it's completely silent. No sound emerges from the area around them. Okay, Sarah's up. She will move up another couple of feet here, out in front of you, and then what has she got? This is so fucking annoying. Oh, yeah, I know what she can do. Right. So she starts praying, like again, calling to the elemental plane, to the magic of the wind to aid her. And she's going to cast Guiding Bolts.
Ooh.
7.
That's that Sarah
Critical,
we know.
Critical 1. Honestly, Poe, it would have definitively hit you, except it crashes into the pillar next to you, and you see like this like light ray just like burst around the rock, like on in front of you and behind. That was pretty pathetic. She's done. Ugat goes. He is like rotates up around to like here. And then fires off one of these.
An acid arrow?
12
Wow.
misses. He like you see this dart of green like liquid fire off of one of his hands, and it just goes sailing like high above the Minotaur's head, missing completely. This thing right here is now flying down. What do I got? 40. Yeah, it makes its full movement, dashing, and lands crashing down here in the zone of silence next to the two of you guys. It's not able to make an attack this round, but it does land there. That's its turn. That's his turn. Those guys are done. Ryeth, you're up.
All right, man. So this, I can't. I'm silenced, or wait, I'm not. I'm gonna cast Subtle Spell.
Mm-hmm. So you burn a sorcery point, right?
Yeah, and that leaves me with 0 sorcery points. I was saving it for that. And then I'm going to look at this idiot again and do the same freaking thing. I'm going to cast a level 3 lightning bolt at the monk.
At the monk. I love it, dude. This thing is right here next to you, and you don't even give a shit. You just blast this fucking guy with a lightning bolt. He rolls a deck saving throw. Actually, that's plus another 3 on top of that. 9 misses. He takes 26 points of electricity damage. And as the second lightning bolt hits Zoltor, this time from the front rather than behind, it lifts him up off the ground and just drops him over here where he lands flat hard on his back. The diamond already discarded on the ground next to him, and he lies motionless in the dirt. As the zone of silence vanishes, you hear the sound of your heavy panted breathing after you fire off the lightning bolt and the growling sound of this hideous creature next to you. That's your bonus action. You have movement.
Okay. I'm going to use Temptish Magic to pick up the diamond where he is, right? Does that work?
The diamond, yeah, it's over here somewhere. It is over where he is. So you fly landing right next to his body and snatch the diamond up off the ground.
And then I'm going to move 30 feet towards my friends.
My friends!
Yeah. You said I was over here? Okay. Yep. So, 30 feet. Hey, Tone.
Put it right in Tone's pocket.
Hey, Tone.
It's I was coming your way, man.
Good to see you again. I got a diamond.
Lonely Shell GreyThorne, it is your turn. A turtle alone.
I think, I like sauntering. Just gonna step right on up.
Whoever's complained to us, hey, do something in this fight.
Hold on.
Then look what
I
happened.
shot an Eldritch Blast. I hit a guy one time. Hold on, let me double check my range.
I love that poor friggin' Poe is by himself with the Minotaur in the middle of this battlefield. Dude, there's 6 other people nowhere near you.
The one that I was trying to talk to.
I'm gonna throw a shatter at the Minotaur.
What's the range on that? I thought it was
60
close.
feet.
And what's the AoE though? Let's just make sure you don't kill Poe.
I mean, it's not gonna kill him.
Yeah, I mean, you could hurt him if you'd like. That's between you guys.
No, I mean, just not at the Minotaur, near. Let me double check. I was going to link it. It's 10 foot. 10-foot sphere.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're just going to put it out here over the water so it hits him, not your bro. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, as close to the stuff on the
burning stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the explosion of burning stuff. Okay, shatter it up, man. A sudden, loud, ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from over here near where all this stuff is. He has to make a Constitution saving throw, of which he makes a decent one.
That's his strength, which he should make an even better one. But
8, he fails,
yes.
So he takes 3d8 thunder damage. It's 15 points of thunder damage as this explosion rolls off, blasting him from behind. And all this stuff over here just explodes. The chest fires off fucking shards of lethal wood blasting down.
Shrapnel damage, come on.
Yeah, the burning weapon rack goes flying up into the fucking air. The other weapon rack just explodes, almost atomized into splinters as it clears the far side of the pond. That's your movement action. You have a bonus action?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good there.
This guy right here, he dead, pretty much. Let's see. I'll let him roll death saving throw. He's relatively important. Nope. He makes it, so that's cool. But he's laying there bleeding to death. Poe, you're up.
Okay, I am going to reach out to the Minotaur and just be like, I'm so sorry. And I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds on him.
Okay. Give him a little touch. Reach out and touch somebody.
Oh.
And he just slaps. Oh, no, he's paralyzed.
He's paralyzed. So you miss.
You have advantage, but still like,
miss.
touch him. But you're not, like, his skin is strong and tough. He's hardy. You know what I mean? You're just not able to, like push the magic, like, through and to penetrate him. It's a shame.
Okay.
That's your action.
So my bonus action, I'm going to move my spiritual weapon right there and take a hit.
With advantage.
22
hits.
Voice.
Come on. 7 force damage.
Okay, the yo-yo like snaps out, cracking into his snout on his face, and he would be pissed, but he can't move. So there's that. That's your action. Bonus action. You want to move?
No, I guess I'll stay.
Okay. He goes. He's paralyzed. Thinnea, you're up.
Thank you.
I'm going to move a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to go right in front of Sarah again.
Okay. You progging?
Oh, wait, no, I was hidden first. So I'm going to attack first.
Okay. You pop up from behind the rubble, attacking. Yes. 18 hits. 11 plus. 19. Thinnea pops up from behind the rubble, and it's just like, and the arrow like sinks right into the side of the Minotaur's ear, like right up to the fletching. And paralyzed or not paralyzed, you see him just like fall backwards into the water. Ooh. And it's just like starts like cooking him. He's standing there. He is dead. Thinnea, it was your turn. That was your action, movement bonus action.
I'm still gonna go stand in front of Sarah.
Okay, I like that.
And then I'm gonna hide again because I see this other creature down here.
Yep, you sure do. Tone Goodheart, you're up.
Oh God, where can I go?
Come back to us.
I guess so. I'm gonna do
you
it
guys are
about
going to
face.
abandon me with this thing?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm the weakest one.
I will. I mean, I'll hold my place. Can I hold my turn until this thing comes to attack us?
Absolutely. So you're just going to hold your attacks until he shows up to actually
Yes,
get
sir.
you. Okay. Okie dokie. Sarah goes. She comes moving up. She huffs as she comes past you, Thinnea. Because you guys have that kind of relationship, and she's right here next to you. She glances at the goblin out of the corner of her eye, like, and then fires off a guiding bolt at this thing.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Hits.
Well,
For 14 points of damage. Yes, she's a real warrior, this lady, huh?
The best. We really picked a good one.
For real. She fires off like this beam of like white light, this radiant white light that strikes the Fenraven, and now it's like glowing and glimmering, granting advantage on the next attack against it. That's her turn. Boom, 1. Ugat goes. He like comes, well, where hold on a sec. Yeah, he comes chucking over here, and then he sees Ryeth, and he's like, "Hey, smart guy, over here, come real quick. We ditch these idiots." And he casts.
Be hilarious if you did the invisibility thing.
No, he casts disguise self on himself and makes himself look like a little human boy. He's like standing over here, like, it's like, so then this thing goes, it comes like leaping up to you. It just takes one big jump, landing, like kicking up turf in the ground as it hits the ground next to you. It goes for a gore attack against you, Ryeth.
Oh God.
10 misses. And a bite. 10 misses.
Nice.
Oh my god.
And it tries to hit you 1d20 plus 80 tone for poison spurs on the wing. 16.
That's a miss.
16 misses. It's like just wildly like swinging and biting at you, Ryeth, and you're like dancing as scared as you've ever been of a fucking creature right up in your face. And it like wafts out with one of the wings, but you're able to duck down low underneath it, Tone, and so you two avoid the damage for the round. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you're up.
Can I get my attack in now that he?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, correct. Yes.
No problemo. So let's start with this one.
23 hits.
Nice.
For 15 points of damage.
Holy shit. Okay.
Once more.
27 for 6 points of damage. And so you don't get your bonus action because you just held your action, in other words, right? The bonus action gets given up. But so, okay, cool. As it like leaps in at you, you duck back, like missing the wing, and just slash twice, cutting, and you see like the crow feathers like kick up, flying in a circle in the air as they slowly drift back towards the ground in front of this thing as you fight it. Ryeth.
Can I strafe around it without provoking an opportunity of attack?
Yeah.
Like if I want to go... Hold on.
Unfortunately, yeah, you can do that. Yes, you can.
Okay. Like if I want to go... That's still in it. 5, 10...
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, as you begin strafing, you take the first step, and if a target within 10 feet of the Fen Raven attempts to disengage or move adjacent to it, it can use its reaction to strike with its wing spurs. So as soon as you like rotate the first 5 feet, it like snaps out with the wing, stabbing you with one of these spurs. So roll a Constitution save, DC 13.
Baited.
Damn, should have just gone with Plan B.
You should have.
Ooh.
16, you avoid the 16 points of poison damage and just take 1 point of piercing damage. Like scrapes your robes, and you see like the poison like running down like with the blood out of the cut up on your shoulder. Okay, so you've repositioned.
Well, you can't do it again.
Nope, it can't. Good point. You can finish, like, if you want to be in a different spot, then yes. You
so if I want to be here, is Tone within 15 feet of me?
Looks like it.
Fuck.
It's exactly 15 feet away.
Fuck. I'm going to disengage. I'm going to disengage and go over to here.
Can you get that far, though? You just move 10 feet.
Okay.
So you can move 20 feet. You can get that far.
Okay.
You can. You're cool.
I'm going to disengage over here.
And as you run up, the little human child standing at the edge of the ruin, like, psst, it's still me. I cast magic in disguise. We get out of here. Let's go. Shael, you're up.
I'm gonna just make the dash on this round, see if I can't just get up in here. Feeling far away. I've been alone for too long.
I know.
So I'm here now. What's up, guys?
Hey, Shell.
Okay, that's your movement and your action. You have a bonus action? Anything? Nope.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm
okay,
out of dues.
Poe, you're up.
I see Ryeth go over there, so I whisper to Sarah, let's follow Ryeth, and I move myself over to here. I think is about as far as I go, and then this guy goes 20 to about... Actually, no. I'll move this guy, my bonus action, to there.
Yeah.
I can't get to the guy, right? Yeah, I'll move it to there.
Sadly, you could actually.
You could,
if you put right here
Tone
next
there.
to Tone.
Oh,
Yeah, if you go to the left space of Tone, you got it.
I'll do that, and then I'll use it to hit Can I, or can it only be a certain distance away from me?
No, it can move and attack.
Oh, 60 feet. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to use it to attack then.
Mm-hmm.
The yo-yo of death. 22.
Nice.
22 hits.
Nice.
The yo-yo snaps out at the end of its spectral rope.
6
For 6 points of force damage, cracking into this thing against like the bony spur on its face. You see some of it like crack a little bit. Okay, that's your movement. That's your bonus action. You have an action?
I do have an action, don't I?
Mm-hmm. You see standing around the corner here a little human child.
Yeah. I'll just run. I'll just use it to dash, and I'll just go to there and be like, hey. And that's it.
This guy no come with us, he says real quick.
I'm gonna be like, we'll talk after the fight.
Okay, that's Poe. He's down over here. Thinnea, you're up.
I'm going to move in front of Sarah.
So passive aggressive. I love it.
On the conga line.
Then I'm going to short bow.
14
doesn't.
misses.
Can I add bless?
Glances off. You can. You are still blessed.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. That was so nice of you.
Super useful. I'm super useful. 17 hits.
That's her song. Can you just make her sing that all the time? I'm super
I'm a
useful.
priest. I'm so useful. Yes. Okay. For 17 points of damage as the wind, the blessing of the wind itself steers your arrow, though we're going to miss. And when it hits and does 17 points of damage, Sarah is just like, I did that from behind you. That's your movement, your action. You have a bonus action.
I'm so angry. I don't want to.
You just slap her.
I know I want to
Punch
so
her right in
bad.
the nuts.
No, I'm just gonna hide again. It's been working out for me. I'm gonna do that.
Okay, you hide. Tone Goodheart, you're up.
All right, let's slice at it.
Miss.
Miss. Go again. That's a hit.
Hits.
Yes.
The first one glances off like the bony protrusions. The second one you just drag down into the flesh for 6 points of damage. Okay.
And I'm
looks
going
pretty
to
hurt.
I'm going to try another stunning strike.
Okay. With you have your bonus action. You're doing this on your unarmed attack, or you're just stunning striking with that. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'll just stunning strike with that.
He rolls a con save. 6.
Nice.
It is paralyzed.
Yes.
You have a bonus action.
I'll run over to the little boy. I'll rustle his hair. I'll give him a piece of the bland crow meat.
Bland crow food.
You rustle his hair, and he's like, "Get out my hair! Out! This tastes real good." He says, like eating the bland food. It's tasty. That's Tone's turn. Sarah goes. She steps up next to you, and then next to Shell. So she thinks now she's really being annoying and blocking you off from getting any further, Thinnea. And then she's just going to cast a real pathetic Sacred Flame.
Yeah.
And it will roll a dexterity saving throw. It's this radiant beam of fire comes in. God damn it. Well, I was useful last round, she says. As the fire strikes down and the thing dances out of the way, incapable of doing anything. This guy over here.
Wait. Never mind. Never mind.
What?
I thought, for some reason, I thought the blind would have, but that's on spells that you can see. Yes.
He slips around next to you, Ryeth, and yeah, what's he gonna do here? He fires off a magic missile at this thing.
Nice. Good old reliable.
Yeah, it is good, reliable. And like it pummels into this thing as it's standing there. The little boy steps next to Ryeth's robe and it's just like mumbles some words and puts his fingers out, his 3 fingers. And these arcane bolts fire off of it, pummeling into this thing's face as it's like charging at you guys. And
Isn't it paralyzed?
It's paralyzed.
It is paralyzed. You're right. Thank you. And it just drops.
Nice.
And again,
It's dead? Fuck.
straight. Yeah. And he like is like, I killed that thing one spell. You're lucky you find strange little boy in woods. And with that, he just begins marching like decidedly towards this hobgoblin over here.
I'm gonna go toward the Minotaur. And,
What's
pull it out of
what's in the
water.
Minotaur's pockets?
I'm gonna go to the hobgoblin.
So am I.
It's in its pockets. Okay, so
I'll pull it out of the water and check its pockets.
Yeah, the
As
turtles
you
are pulling the
pull
Minotaur.
it out of the water. Do you have electricity resistance?
Nope.
Uh-uh.
Oh, but I
Okay,
can
you
give it
can
to
see-
us.
You take
Um,
6 points of
late.
lightning damage as you drag him up out of the water. Like, fuck, I should have thought of that, but first, god damn. Yeah. And so you begin to search the Minotaur, and what you find on him is sadly not a hell of a lot, right? Like he showed up here at the supply cache after you guys did, so he did not have any of the stuff that would have been taken from this place, but he does have his great axe, first of all, if somebody wants
Ooh,
that.
I do.
It's not a battle axe, it's a great axe. So like you could have it and try to use it, you're just not proficient in it, right?
Oh, then never mind.
Okay. Also, he has, 1 second here. He has on him 2 flasks of strange liquids that you realize like pretty quickly, like these are not water flasks, right? These are unusual, potentially even magical potions inside these flasks.
I've got a purse. I can hold that for us if you want.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean,
throw it over
maybe
to Thinnea. Or I throw
you
it
guys
over
want to
to
let me
Kidnapped
do
again.
an Arcana check on those? I could perhaps try and figure out what they are.
You seem busy over there at the hobgoblin.
All right. Have fun with your random potions.
Okay, as you are, you guys come over to the hobgoblin. Tone, you're with these two, right? And you start searching him. Ryeth, you've already got the diamond that you snatched up. And
Yeah.
as you start going over this guy again, you find in a pouch that looks like brand new, like he just tied it to his belt kind of haphazardly. As you like pull it off and open it up, there is a separate flask. This one is clear, like crystal, and the liquid inside looks like a translucent kind of red with bubbles burbling up through it, right?
Cool. Can I make
And then
an
there's also, yeah, sure, roll Arcana.
While they're
Great.
doing all this, do I
Nice.
have time for a short rest?
No, not just yet. We're going to get there in 1 second. Yeah, you look at this and you realize immediately, Ryeth, it's an elixir of flaming fists. That the person who drinks this like would be able to, for probably somewhere around a minute, their hands and potentially their feet would like burst into flames, and it would enhance fire damage on
Okay,
any physical
So
attacks.
I'm gonna pass it over to Tone. Be like, hey, I think this would be a little more useful for you, buddy. And explain
Oh.
kind of what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
I'm gonna ask the turtles if they do want me to show the potions to Ryeth or not.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, it's better to know what you're drinking before you drink it. Just
Okay, so I'll bring the potions to Ryeth.
God.
Look, when-
Meanwhile, so Zoltar's like definitely dead, right? He's like not.
I don't know.
on
Do you
death-
want it? Do you have medicine? I mean, like he's like laying there pretty
Oh.
fucked up, and
I
like,
mean, I want to
bleeding
have
and
like
everything.
a final conversation with him if like he's not exactly dead.
Do
So
say
you
this to
like
us?
grab him and like check him, right? As Ryeth is just kind of like digging through his shit. Ryeth, you also found a brooch. There's a brooch that's like made of brass, and it's got like an ivory eye painted in the center of it, like a piece of ivory with an eye symbol.
I just
pic-
critted again on my Arcana check.
he knows so many things.
Okay, this brooch is a brooch of winking, which means that once a day it can grant advantage on either a persuasion or a deception check. once. Like you wink while you're wearing it. You like wink, and it like activates it, and it will grant advantage on one roll once a day.
Cool. I'll take that. I got a 20 charisma.
He's like, fuck you guys.
I have a 20 charisma. It's perfect for me.
So while he does that,
I have an 8 persuasion. Come on, man.
Well, wait. Hold on. So, Tone, you grab Zoltur's like shoulder, roll him open, and his eyes flutter open, and he's just like, Master Goodheart, I did not find you quick enough. We should not have separated.
It's okay, buddy. We made it. We're outside the gambit. You won. You made it out, and everyone's around us. They're cheering your name right now. And as this happens, I'll pull out my katana.
It's so like he reaches up to like almost touch your cheek, right? He's like, "Is that you? I am the victor. I am the captain."
We came out hand in hand, passionately embracing.
Come in here with us. He points. What are you doing with my bag? Hey.
The security guard. He's simply checking. He's checking to make sure that we got out there correctly. Now, just give one more look to the sky, Zoltur, to the world that gave you so little and has now given you so much. You will live eternally peaceful from now on, my friend. And as he looks up at the sky, I will shove my
just kill the guy.
It's his gut.
Oh, his gut! You don't even. I thought you were gonna give him like the hard kill. So you.
Oh no! I'll go him the hard kill. I didn't know if it was that sharp enough, but I'll go in for the kill.
You drive the sword like through his ribs into his heart. And he's just like, and the blood in his beak kind of like clatters for a minute, and he just falls back still and motionless.
And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna rip off a little piece of his fabric from his cloak. I'm gonna walk over to this dead creature over here. I'm gonna grab one of the crow feathers that fell on the ground. I'm gonna fashion myself like a little headband with the crow feather out of it, and I will yell to everyone, "Today, I am the Crow Daddy."
Crow Daddy Goodheart. Okay, so I'm sorry, John. What were you saying before John did that?
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to whisper into Poe's ear, be like, "I didn't know he was that crazy." Also, I think Sarah is my mother.
Oh God, you guys are making me want to like end it right there. It's too good. You feel a tugging. You feel a tugging like at your robes, Ryeth, as you say that. Like, which one your mother? She be my mother too. I never have mother. He says.
The silver-haired one. Don't say it too
Look
loud.
how cute I am. Cute little boy. Need mother. This one? He points over at Thinnea.
Yeah, that one.
So this little boy walks over to you today. I don't know if you ever like saw the goblin before he cast disguise self. So this little boy who you saw like casting magic, he walks over to you like, I hear you, mother. You be my mother? I make good potions, sometimes poison.
And I will pick up the little boy and I'm gonna kiss him on his little head. And I'll say, "Of course I'll be your mother."
He's just like hanging there limply, like awkwardly, like not at all hugging you back or expressing any kind of affection. But you could hear the pleasure in his voice as he's like, "It's good deal. I know have mother before." He says, "Okay, good. I stick with you then." I know you his mother first, but I'm better son. I'm much cuter than him. He not that bright. I'm much brighter than that guy.
Yeah, he doesn't ever make me potions for Mother's Day. Did you know that today is Mother's Day?
I know nothing about that, but have things for potions now. Yes, need fire and time. Need fire for cooking now.
I whispered to Thinnea, ask him if he's seen the orc with the axe.
Oh yeah, I
No.
see that guy. So looks at you.
Ask
Yeah,
him
I go other way.
Ask him how long ago.
And I'm just going to look at him because he's clearly listening.
He's like, why you talk to my mother? Strange whispers. You talk to me. Yeah, he says.
Are you talking to my mama?
He says, I see that guy yesterday before night come. He real angry. Stomp around. I saw him chomping on boars.
Do you know which way he went, dude?
Go toward Big Bridge that way. Big Bridge, real bad. Real bad. Very long bridge. You're out and open. All things from Sky see you come and get you.
Okay, so... dudes, we can either wait for him to make
your
potions
mother too?
Or... No.
Sorry.
No, we're not hanging out here. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think hanging out here is really that cool, man. There's people might still be coming for the treasure that we just rode in. There's a bunch of guys around. We should definitely get the hell out of here.
Considering how many things flew in while we were fighting there, I think we should get out of here.
Making a count on our initial amount of people that came in, it's Woon. I'm pretty sure. Woon and the dwarf.
So
everybody else is here or died at the beginning. Just counting bodies. It's what I do.
Well, there's still the chick.
There's a chick Thesk too.
The one we were trying to find, who might have a connection to the druids.
Yeah.
Perhaps, right?
She was a little morbid. Okay, so he says, dudes, he says the orc went that way. Should we go now?
I see that Thesk chick, by the way.
As you guys are talking, and so like while he's like, oh, by my count, you hear like the voice of this woman from coming around from the ruined building over here, like, have you forgotten me so quickly, old turtle?
You know, at my age, people start caring about you. Counting gets difficult.
And so up comes like walking the woman Gita, the like Viking chick who seemed to have the deal with Sarah in the beginning. And Sarah kind of like looks over at her and just like nods, like sort of knowingly to her, and she nods back. This woman Gita is like this blonde-haired woman with these braids and half of her hair, and she has this big round shield strapped to her back, and a kind of well-worn long sword at her hip. And she's just kind of standing, taking in the scene like, this is quite a fight for you all. You killed the Minotaur and the Hobgoblin, along with these creatures. She says, I was with the druids who you are looking for, elf. Now the question is, why do you want them?
I'll step in. The druids might know how to get out of here, right?
Oh,
They've been hiding out?
Nothing better. They come and go as they please. We are to believe this place is a prison, but a prison only traps those who believe they cannot escape. She says, my task was to come here and free someone from my patron, and I will do it. I have been given ways to find the druids, and I have met with them already. So I say to you, what about the rest of you? That's all you want with them? To be free? To escape? Their help?
Sarah kind of told me there was like a greater thing going on here, and I kind of told her I'd help her with that. So I want to help the druids.
She like looks over at Sarah like, are you sure your faith in this one is well placed? He seems very young. And Sarah kind of shrugs like, we use the tools we have in the wilds, and you know it, Gita. She says he is what he is. But they speak true. They've kept me alive. I've been with them from the beginning. So if you know where the druids are, then tell us, and we'll be out of your hair. We won't slow you down. And so Gita like looks over at the rest of you, and she's just like, I can bring you to the druids, but I will need your help first. Is this agreeable?
What are we doing?
Yeah,
Depends.
I have a young son, and so I just need to make sure that I'm not putting him into danger.
And I have
That's
many
my mom
close
right
children.
here. And so the mosquito like looks like that was a very rapid pregnancy that you went through. Must have been an eventful couple of days.
You have no idea the shit we've been through.
I'll walk up
I'm
to
looking
Gita
for
and just say, "Name it. We'll help you."
She like nods, looking at you then, like Edgar Poe, as you come up and are standing in front of him. And she says, I am sent here by my patron, a great lord of the Fey realms.
Oh, word.
Someone important to him was lost in this place. He is findable, and I believe I know the one who can point me in the right direction, but this is a dangerous being. It is called the Leech. I am told it can be found in his lair at the foot of the long bridge across the chasm.
Oh, that's we were headed that way anyway.
The more the merrier. Except when you're walking a giant bridge with things flying in the air.
She says, this man, this creature, whatever he is, I need information from him. Now, clearly you are all competent and violent enough to have survived this many days in this place. So, if you choose to kill him, I warn you, do not do so until I have the information that I need.
Can you specify what that information is so we don't kill him before we get that out of him?
I seek the location of a giant tree in this place, an ancient tree, a tree that moves from time to time, so it is quite unlike all the other trees that we have seen, that you would know.
Have you ever met a woodwode?
Indeed, I have. Have you?
Yes.
Well, yeah, we met a couple.
Sounds very similar to a woodwode.
This is much bigger than that. Much bigger. But similar indeed, yes.
Dude, do you have a safe place that we can like hunker down and clean our wounds for a little while before we head off to this leech?
She shrugs and like looks around like we can find a place that we think is safe enough, but I think a safe place is not something we will find in Skaden. Let's go then. Safer, at least.
Lead the way.
Onward!
So she like brings you guys like off into the woods, and you walk for like, I don't know, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you get up high on like a hillside, and you're able to find what amounts to like a small cave. Nothing like big and extensive. It's like a small cave face that like half of you can fit inside of it, while the rest of you like sit outside, and you can take like a rest and eat and do what you would like to do.
Are we doing a long rest?
Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. I may need some sleep before I'm useful again.
Yeah, to
I'm in the same boat.
To quote a Great Storm Sorcerer, I'm at half health right now.
Well, a short rest will be fine for that because you can roll hit dice, but like I need a reset.
Yeah, I exhausted a lot of spells.
But
so Gita says, we will sleep then here for the night. We'll gather food, and Thienea's son says, I make cooking. Need long fire. Few hours. That's good plan. Yeah.
Thanks for your vote of confidence.
Putting fire together. Yeah. And so I think that we'll probably stop here. I think that this is the best place to stop. As you guys stop and make camp, we'll return next time to discuss the immediate plan and to press on to the Long Bridge, I think.
I mean, if you want to, we're scheduled for another hour, so
for another hour,
want to do, yeah.
To go that late. Okay.
I mean, whatever you want to do.
Can we go for that long? You want to go that long?
I've got around a half an hour tonight.
Okay, we can just stop here then.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cinematically a good stopping point.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that if we push too much further, we're going to end up in like a clusterfuck of like not having enough time. That's my fear. I would rather leave on like the strong foot than the weak one, I guess. So yeah, I think this is a good spot. Yeah.
Okay. Well, join us next week for our first episode of Abrea before the campaign. Tuesday at 4:30. We'll be launching the side show for this. And if you want to come join us for the monster playtest before that, I believe it's either Sunday or Monday. We'll put out the information about that. I don't see 11th.
Yeah, I'll blow it up once we lock in a time for sure. I had a lot of fun tonight, guys. Got the band back together. We adopted a child. We've killed a whole bunch of our friends, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And so we're a little bit closer to where we need to be, which is the hell out of this place.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, join us next week. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you around.